Hey, welcome back. Let's make sure all good. How you doing? Happy Sunday, y'all. Welcome. It is currently June the 10th? No, 5th? 7th? 7th. It's June 7th. Welcome to Mental Good. It's a Sunday. We got a couple hours this afternoon. We're gonna do some streaming. Always good to get that Sunday stream, man. Just have some time in the middle of the day to hang out. Not too strict of a scheduled stream. It looks like I'm really short. I think it's just my posture's bad and the camera's high. So maybe if we sit like this. How's everyone doing today? Astro Particle, how's it going? Yo, welcome to the chat. Welcome. How you doing? How's your Sunday been? Music perfectly transitioned out. Yeah, today we're just gonna be playing some Netrunner for a bit in the middle of the day. We have a couple of things we can do. I think one thing I definitely want to do is take requests for decks. I think we labeled the stream Freebird. So if you want to throw deck requests, we'll probably get them done. Either if you have deck lists or like quick ideas that we can build together. It's just gonna be kind of relaxed and casual. It is a Sunday. It is just past noon. It's lunchtime. Hopefully you've had something to eat. We're here on Netrunner DB, and the deck list of the week is from Iberian Lockdown, still smoking hot. It is a smoke deck. I thought this was the second smoke deck that I've seen before. There was another smoke deck that was published a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken. There was a smoke deck that was playing Career Fair to play like Earthrise Hotel and more draw cards, which is what the creator decided was or identified to be a weakness in smoke decks, not just getting enough card draw. And I think that's cool. I think that's neat. There's still a fair few targets you can put into your deck to Career Fair out and smoke. Usually Daily Cast finds their way into this deck, but this again is a 40 card deck. This one's a bit different. This has modded piece, kind of some basic stuff. Nothing too spicy here, but it looks pretty good and did well in the Iberian Lockdown number 5. Yo, Horse, how's it going? Adam? Did someone say Adam? Hey, Andre. Hey, how's it going, both of y'all? Welcome. Yeah, we could do Adam. We've had requests. We always have requests to play Adam. I don't know why Adam. Why Adam? Everyone just loves Adam, huh? Yeah, okay, I guess we'll do that. Is there a deck list specifically? We got to build something. I wonder what a good Adam deck looks like modernly. I've seen way too many Adam decks, and I know we played against a really specific Adam deck on Thursday, but I've seen too many Adam decks that are really into the buffer chip recursion thing, and I don't know if I like it that much. At least that part of it. I just kind of like the good old aggression, cheap running Adam, you know, directives, good stuff. Chris, how's it going? Tips on how to play against CTM. Oh man, we did a whole video on that a long time ago just because CTM was very popular and we thought it would be the prevalent deck in our meta, and we totally mismanaged or misjudged that at least. In terms of how to play against CTM, okay, some really quick tips. CTM, for those who don't know, is controlling the message. It's a very strong identity. It is won worlds multiple times and come close to winning worlds too. Kashu list I've been working on. Yeah, that'd be cool actually. Thank you, Anarco. That would help a lot. So first thing, 12 influence, you can counter influence. They generally don't have too much, and you need to figure out what their win condition is. There's generally two kind of camps of controlling the message decks, at least on competitive tables. One of them is trying to kill you with cards like False Lead and Hard Hitting News to end you with 2 tags at least, and then they hit you with Boom, a card that does meat damage. If you have some tech to remove tags in that matchup or prevent damage, you're in a good spot, but you just have to understand that's what they're trying to do. The other versions run like Team Sponsorship and recur Rashida Yahims and do more fast advancing, not fast advance, but like never advanced stuff with quantum predictive models, data ravens and remotes, stuff like that. Those are pretty good. So there's 2 options there. In both of those decks, you kind of have to understand what matters. I think both of them run hard-hitting news. So one of the best tips you can have is make sure you have a strong economy, make sure you're trashing the right things, and make sure you're not accessing or trying not to access at a point where it's going to be ruinous for you. Okay, just to go over this in case, sorry, I hit the microphone, in case y'all don't know about this. Hard-hitting news. This is a big deal. The idea for this, the corp will spend money into this if they have more money than you, and you'll either end your turn, start your turn with 4 tags. Now, if you have 8 clicks on a whole turn, you can remove all of those tags by just using the basic ability printed on the basic operation card. But not only is that expensive, you'll lose your whole turn. So a lot of times people will install an agenda in a remote, do something hard-hitting news, and now you're forked between removing all the tags and doing this. Now, in the early game too, sometimes they'll throw this on you if you've interacted too early and they don't have a way to kill you or psychographics you at that point. I've seen too many runners not clear the tags and decide they're going tag me, which I think early in the game is going to be a death sentence. So you want to watch out and maybe clear the tags later if you can. Another really big card to watch out is Mumbet Virtual Tour, just because on turn 1, this card is not always a 3 of anymore in these controlling message decks, but the idea is that when you hit this, you have to pay 5 credits if you can, and then you do the trace from CTM. So a couple things, if you can access cards that you don't know what they are, or specifically if you know that there's an upgrade with less than 5 credits, you'll be dodged from trashing this, which is very important. How do you do that? Turn 1, one of the best things you can do is Dirty Laundry. The early game against controlling the message can be really swingy. Sometimes it'll be a Mumbet virtual tour. Sometimes it'll be like an AR enhanced security and agenda they want to square early out. But checking with Dirty Laundry is pretty good. Deuce's Wild can help too if you don't get the money first. There's a couple ways that you can do it. I think Deuce's Wild, you need to expose a piece of ice. It's not that easy to do first turn. So there's a couple things. I think some of the more important things to know is like one of the best things you can do, well, 3 things. Make sure your deck has a good economy. Like 4 things. Making sure your deck has a really strong economy. If your deck just doesn't have enough money to trash things and then remove tags, like it's going to be a problem. What's like just a problem. And I've seen too many decks, like I think the smoke deck might struggle. The idea is that this deck is really good at breaking ice cheaply, which isn't the problem that controlling the message presents you. We do have Misdirection, which is a really good tech card, mind you, in the matchup or any tag based matchup. So yeah, make sure your deck has more money. Put more money in it if you're struggling with it. Just get more money into there. Second thing, this is the first time the runner trashes an installed corp card on their turn. So one of the best things you can do is trash 2 cards on the same turn. It's a really important thing to do. Make sure that you're running, trashing one thing and then go trashing the other thing. So you just pay the trash cost as opposed to getting like, having to do that twice over 2 turns. Next thing, remember and realize what you need to trash. It's not obvious what is a must trash asset, but some are more important than others. A lot of these decks, their money is entirely tied into assets. Now, it means it can be really hard to trash a pad campaign in the early game, and you're not forced to trash this on turn 1, even up to turn 2. But when you do end up getting ahead on board and trashing these things, they have fewer plays to do, and they have to be clicking for money a lot more. And they won't be threatening. So things like this are not that important to trash, but figuring out what is important to trash. Something obviously like a commercial banker group is a much more immediate trash just because this generates money way quicker. Daily business show also, this thing is kind of surprising how strong it is. You can't leave this on the table for too long or they're going to be drawing the perfect cards. HQ pressure becomes a bit unimportant when they filter agendas. They'll be getting more assets on the table. Cards like this are surprisingly important to trash if you can. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, so we don't spend too long on this, is tech cards are really important. There's certain cards you can add in any matchup to help a lot with what you're doing. One of the easiest ones in neutral is Citadel Sanctuary. This card's so good, and specifically if you're playing a runner that has a starting link, just because you can go your whole turn and not clear the controlling the message trace. There's some reasons why you'd want to do that because of quantum predictive model, and I guess there's some other things too. But the idea is that if you have this, a lot of times you can just start trashing things and then clear the tag clicklessly at the end of your turn. This also does prevent you against some meat damage sometimes. On top of that, just other good things like Stim Hack is really good. You can use Stim Hack to just trash assets. Don't feel wrong with Stim Hacking a daily business show just to get that done. There's a lot of good things. Like obviously anything that helps you trash assets is really good. Scrubber. HQ pressure. Also, I know we talked about Daily Business Show, but a lot of those decks are going to keep cards in hand that are combo punishment cards like Boom, Hard-Hitting News, Closed Accounts, C-Source, stuff like that. So having some ability for disruption is really good. Maw is probably very strong in this matchup as well, as long as you have the money to play it. There's so many good games online of people playing competitive, controlling the message, and watching those is one of your better things to do. A lot of times the story you hear from competitive players is no matter what in a top tier game between controlling the message and a runner is that at some point the runner is going to have to go tag me and take on the tags, usually in the last 1 or 2 turns before the game is over, regardless who wins. And that can be pretty exciting. But one of the biggest things is that if you don't have a strong economy in the early game and you don't set up to be able to trash the right things, they can snowball. They are an asset deck. They get value off the assets. If you can't trash the assets, they're just going to get more value. So you got to make sure you deal with the board if you can. It's definitely very difficult. It's also one of the few matchups where a single misplay can most obviously cost you the game. And it gets a lot harder with cards like False Lead and Pryseck and stuff like this. But if you just goof it and run at the wrong time and then be like, oh, that was a Mumbet Virtual Tour into a Pryseck, something like that, you can now suddenly be hard-hitting news and boomed, even if you're up 6 points to 0. Like it definitely still happens, and you just got to watch out for that sort of stuff. Also, Film Critic can be pretty good in this matchup if you're playing it as a restricted card, on the basis that quantum predictive model versions are pretty hard to deal with. There's a bunch of other tech cards too, like Salset Slums and Hacktivist. Hacktivist is really good in this matchup. They generally don't play currents. One of the other better things you can do is getting an early mining accident. Bad publicity is so huge against this deck. It lets you use that money for traces, let alone for trashing things for every run. And again, one of the best things we want to do is trash 2 things a turn. So do watch out for that. Another thing to watch out for, if you do become Edward Kim with Rebirth, watch out, because if you trash an operation, you're going to take a tag. All right. Hopefully that helps. I don't know if I said hey, Topol. How's it going? I just realized there's a Citadel Sanctuary in that list that should be a corporate defector. Okay, cool. Anarcho, thank you. I'm going to open that list. Copy. I've just realized, sorry, play credit denial 419 versus CTM. It feels like a form of vengeance after all the years of abuse. Yeah, Jenkivis, how's it going? Yeah, we've had a couple games on this channel where we play like the good credit denial 419 with Citadel Sanctuary with Link with rogue trading. And basically all we do, that's also a really big thing in controlling the message, is do not go for Araxes in the early game. That deck got really hard to score out because they have Bolognas that are defensive. It's like one of the best things you can do is just control the board. And once you're controlling the board in the mid to late game, then you can start vying for accesses and start throwing down the Stargate. Now that's not always true. At some point you might be so far behind, the best thing you can do is slam a Stargate early and then just like try and trash their tag punishment, let alone agendas, and win. But like that deck is not very good at icing up their centrals because largely they don't care. Bologna is secured in the early game. Even if you do steal a Bologna, you're probably going to be hard-hitting news, and then you're not dealing with the assets. So it might be really easy to be like, oh, the R&D, they didn't ice it. I'm going to go run that for a single in the early game. Probably don't want to do that. You probably want to be setting up your economy and your card draw to the point that you can contest their board. I don't care if R&D is open. I don't care if HQ is open. A lot of times you just want to make sure that you're controlling the board. And if you are running those centrals, make sure it's very impactful. Things like Wanton Destruction. Hoshiko also, by the way, is just very good in the matchup because she gets draw for free. She gets money and Link. It gives you all the stuff you want in the matchup. It's one of the better Anarchs besides Valencia in that matchup for sure. Hey Andre, hey chat, yo Perlo, what's up? These decks like never run things like hedge fund or IPO, so if they don't have an econ asset, they'll be clicking for dollar. Yeah, exactly, Anarcho. That's also a very big point why mining accident in the early game can be pretty easy to fire, let alone deadly. The decks, they used to run hedge funds, sometimes they don't, sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't run a lot of operations, so getting an early mining accident actually can be pretty easy. I remember playing against you on stream and I'm emergent creativity for a misdirection rather than a Rozeki, and that really cost me, so yeah, misplays can be really punishing. Yeah, misplays can be incredibly punishing in the matchup. That's my biggest problem, running too soon. Yeah, Chris, you got to figure out in every matchup, not only how are they going to win, but how are you going to win? You're not going to win the CTM matchup by getting lucky accesses off R&D. They're going to win by building a board state and getting to the point where you can interact with them meaningfully without getting buried in tags, and or they have good data raven remotes. Just don't go for the accesses. As much as possible, you really don't want those early accesses. They're not going to help you. They really aren't. Also, Amaku is pretty good in the matchup because they can't ice up everything, but watch out, they definitely do run IP block. All right, this is Jalfrezi Adam. So this is a Narco through their Adam list. I don't know what a good Adam list is, but they all look kind of similar at some point, don't they? So this has Amina, which is for 4 influence. Let me tell you, I've seen people splash weird decoders in Adam. Obviously, Adam in faction has no real breakers. So Amina for 4 credits is probably worth it. We can get this down onto the table cheaper with emergent creativity, which is good. But that's a really, really strong decoder, and it's good. We have Corroder because our restricted card is Film Critic instead of Paperclip. I'd be interested to hear in Narco why Film Critic over Corroder. Is Film Critic that important? And then we have Nanotech, which is good. For 1 influence, it's kind of crazy. It's a good sentry breaker. Otherwise, we have a Misdirection, which is cool because we are one of the few factions that can tutor this when we need it. We have Multi-Threader, which is just a good econ card if you have the MU, but otherwise it generally is fodder for your emergent creativity. And then you have Rozekis, which are just fine. And again, hopefully we have a lot of MU for winning. This deck snowballs a lot of times, and a big part is because of Brain Chip, right? The idea is that if we have Brain Chip, we're good. If it's online, right? Like if we get 6 hand size, 6 MU or whatever on, or 8 MU, 7 MU, we're in a bigger spot. Freedom through Equality is pretty good with our directive that we're going to choose. We have Dirty Laundry, Stim Hack, Emergent Creativity, just some good stuff. The thing is I haven't played Adam, so I don't know what we're missing. Like if there's a card that we could be playing that we shouldn't, that we don't have. This is meant to be a corporate defector, which is probably less impactful than Citadel Sanctuary in a whole bunch of matchups. Admittedly, we don't have Trace, or a Link, sorry. Cast, Earthrise, Film Critic, Hunting Ground is cool. It's a fun card. Single Caddy, 3 Pad Tap, Logic Bomb, Turning Wheel. This looks like totally fine. Yeah, Critic is real important. It makes P and Argus a little easier, which are probably the deck's worst matchups along with CTM. Okay, cool. We have 2 Boomerang I didn't mention. Yeah, this looks totally fine. This looks fine. Space Lim Adam. Where are we? I think we're still in the same window, yeah. It's also why I'm not running Angolo, which would normally be the unicorn. I'm not a big fan of Angolo anymore. I think I've said this so many times on the channel, but like one of the big strengths of Angolo when it was a restricted card was back then you had to find a way to deal with like Excalibur, Mother Goddess. I think even then you had to play around to some extent like Sadaka and Universal Connectivity Fee. Like there's a lot of good ice in the meta that were you needed a solution to, and I don't think that's a thing anymore. And spending so much money to make something a code gate and then to break it in a way that isn't even like incredibly cheap, I guess it's cool for flexibility that you only need one breaker. Like that's definitely the strength of the deck, or of the card. What's Jalfrezi mean? But yeah, I don't see it. It's expensive. It's 2 MU2, which probably doesn't matter. Okay, so we're gonna drop a Citadel and play a Corporate Defector. Corporate Defector is an okay card, but for me, Corporate Defector seems like a win more card, right? Like if you're at the point that you can contest HQ and get this down, then you're in an okay spot, but you have to be able to contest HQ, contest the remote. I think, you know, obviously information is important regardless, and we probably scale a bit better into the late game, so they're kind of more threatened to click to draw, considering we have recurring credits and Rozeki and stuff, but I don't know. I'm never that sold on that. It's always like card 51 or whatever people call it. You probably keep the Citadel. I prefer Corporate Defector, but either are fine. At least Corporate Defector, we've played less of it, so it'll be more interesting. I think Boomerang accomplishes the same goal of early pressure than Gola does, but it's cheaper and better. Yeah, totally, right? And it's not like we have deck ordering effects that we care about. Like, a lot of criminals, that was fast. A lot of criminals will play, like, you know, Class Act and things where they order their deck. Wait, where's their deck? Did we not save it? Oh, we just made it not Adam. Okay, that's an easy fix. That was a very illegal 419 deck. The Citadel was pretty good in it, though, wasn't it? All right, we're getting to Acme Consulting. So the first ice were considered to be tagged. Thanks, you too. So a lot of these decks have kind of pivoted away from assets, from like big remote sort of things, but are now playing more like fully operational, and they kind of go horizontal just because the ability will be on for every remote server. I think we always go for the standard stuff. Always be running as the 4th directive, or technically the 1st directive, but we almost never choose it. I think there's only a couple matchups where it's relevant, and they're the matchups where you need the accesses as soon as possible. I think it's like Titan Transnational exclusively. Opening hand, not amazing. We have a Brain Chip, which is a 3 of, but doesn't really do anything on their opening turn. Corporate Defector is not great. Emergent Creativity with nothing in hand. I think we want a mulligan for like just daily casts, Rozeki, stuff like that. Their opening can't be too explosive. Film Critic might matter. Yeah, they're probably playing Bologna. Yeah, that's Acme. I don't know. This idea got so much worse in my mind when the Universal Connectivity fee rotated, but people are getting success with this in tournaments, so what can we do? Hardmull, yeah. We also, this list is somewhat weak to scarcity resources. They did Ice Hedge Fund. It's kind of weak to scarcity resources. Luckily, the tournament that GNK we're playing on Tuesday doesn't have that as an issue. I don't know whether we want a Dirty Laundry archive just to set up, but I feel like we might have to. The issue is we have to respect hard-hitting news, and most of our installs here are expensive. I don't love showing that we have Film Critic, and I want to go down to few cards just so that we can, make sure we get our free card draw. Like, this hand's a bit clumsy. Man, Earthrise. We don't play Career Fair. This is just going to be really expensive. No matter what, I don't want to Facecheck either, because we hit an IP block, it's annoying. Most things are pretty annoying. Like Data Ward, IP block, they all make us spend money. The phrase is a type of current. It's a turn to joke how spicy the list is. Is this a spicy list? Find the truth, top of our ID, there's a Pachinko. That we can boomerang through. Corrodor deals through this for 4 credits. It's like an Eli for cheap. Pachinko's pretty good. So like here we can do, like if we install Earthrise, we're in a pretty bad spot. And then we're just drawing more cards instead of getting free card draw. Maybe that's the point. I don't like this play, but we get free card draw. Cast at least is good. Film Critic coming down shows them early that the Bolognas are not safe. Even SSLs aren't going to give them the 9 credits. So they drew into an unknown card. That's where Corporate Defector gets value. Damn it. Crazy aren't that spicy. So now at least there's Pachinkos on Centrals or Pachinkos on Server 1. Well, on Server 1 it matters less, but we can bounce into them, right? And then get turning wheel counters. The thing is like IP block is an issue. All right, that's at least good, but like our turn is very uninteractive here. We're getting no drip economy, so I kind of want to install the daily cast. If we install the Earthrise, we're on 6 credits, and we'll be drawing 3 cards a turn. That's actually probably fine. I think we actually can afford both of these. Next turn we'll have 5 credits, which is enough to play most things in our deck. They also know everything we draw. It's really important with Find the Truth. This one. Ooh, corporate defector would be good. So they know everything we're drawing. It says in the chat log. So they know we have a logic bomb in hand. And logic bomb can be tricky with cards like Data Raven that make us go through it and take a tag if we want to like do that after. Also looks like there's an upgrade in server 1. No idea what that could be. All right, so this is the problem where you don't get early aggression. And Adam, your opening hand is absolute trash. We didn't get Scarcity. Yo, Hunter, what's up? Been watching you for some time, coming back to the game, and true to get that hang of it, especially since the Nisei card's latest data packs. Teaching me a lot, Mr. Miyagi. Hey, cheers! Welcome to the stream. Glad you can get back into it. The Nisei cards have been like incredibly good and fun. So I'm glad you can find the time to get back in. I don't know what this is. I feel like we want to check. The problem is like we'll just panic Logic Bomb and then we don't get a free card draw. I guess we play Brain Chip and click for credits. This feels really bad. We're probably too scared of aggression. Bob, what's up? Nice to see you. Your friendly time. Hey, welcome. How you doing? Glad to be able to stream in times that make more sense for more people. Guess that's weekends. Rashida, 4 credits, or sorry, 4 cards, 3 credits on server 1. I don't know what that is. This kind of looks like a Keegan Lane, but Keegan Lane doesn't specifically work with Acme's ability, and we called fully operational before. It looks like a fully operational deck. Yo, Pink, I'm doing good. How are you? Welcome. But yeah, we're going to be struggling to generate economy and accesses. So this could easily be Jeeves into a 4-2. And like, man, these draws are so just like clumsy. So like the chance of us hitting an agenda in HQ is somewhat high. But the idea that this could be an agenda is also kind of high. I just don't know what this is in here, a Pricek or something. I feel like we have to go HQ. We don't get value from any other card in our hand. We could do Emergence Creativity to install, like, what is good here? We know that there's a Pachinko probably on server 1 or server 2, so Corroder is kind of good. This is really rough. And, like, we don't even get through Data Ward with Boomerang. Fine. So if this is a strong Data Ward, it's a Pachinko. Okay, so we Boomerang that pretty elegantly. And they only spent 1 though. I was hoping for them to spend a bit more, but at least we're gonna get an Axis. We can see something about their deck. Axis server. Find the Truth is a Cyberdeck sandbox. Oh shit. It's an IP block. And an Archive Memories. Of course we get a double Axis. We'll shuffle the Boomerang. Okay, so we know if we get into R&D it'd be better. The question is, can we do this for a Boomerang? Fuck it, we're gonna merge the creativity of Boomerang. No, we have Logic Bomb. What are we thinking? We could do Freedom and then R&D. Yeah, whatever. So if this is Data Ward, we still bypass it, right? We can let this fire. We don't have money. So event resource hardware, so we just lose 2. So now we're weak to hard-hitting news if they have it. We saw Archive Memories. Archive Memories a lot of times means that either they're recurring fully operational or they are running some sort of kill package. Now we do know server 2 specifically is, it looks like they're on Jeeves if they're on Cyberdeck Sandbox. We're not gonna host it, so our hand size is bigger, so we're gonna get a free card draw, and we're off to the races. Drawing into a gamble is gonna be a bit awkward this turn. It looks like it's just a daily business show, again, fully operational. I've been having a lot of fun for a while playing Slee out of Acme. Yo, was it you? Someone was posting a Slee deck, a couple Slee decks from Acme, and I think another NBN as well. It looks like they're going fully operational. I think Archive Memories is for fully operational. We didn't get punished, which is good. We also know we can just keep going through the slot machine if we really need to. Earthrise Hotel and Daily Casts. So we could just take the back seat here and kind of set up. They're going to be fully operational really hard, really soon. But like, I don't know how we click up for Sure Gamble anytime soon. And so we could just do like credit, daily cast, run R&D, and hope we don't give them money or advancements. And then next turn we can gamble. Our hand size is 6, so this seems fine. We also can just bounce off Pachinko and then run R&D and C2. That seems fine, honestly. We also can just force them to res so we see what's behind the slot machine instead of just going through it over and over again. Event, hardware, event. So do we want to give them 3 credits? I don't think we care, do we? Do we Logic Bomb to stop them from getting 3 credits? No. I think someone recently posted a revised version of mine that I sent them. Oh, it's super cool. Okay, they're on 10. We're on 0. Oh, we should have seen 2 cards here. I think it might be too late. It's a Calvin Bailey. So yeah, this definitely looks like some sort of asset spam. Also, Jeeves makes a lot of sense if they're running low influence HB cards. We're not going to trash Calvin. We can't. We could have seen the second card there. We goofed it. We should have hit that button. Save your bombs for data word. Yeah, I think we need to save our bombs for data word and anything else that's like really big and scary because we're still contesting. We need to get 2 more accesses, 2 more good accesses, and even just like running archives. If there's no pachinko on there, they have to spend money. But we really need to get our money up. Yeah, there you go. Fully operational. A hell of a card. Gain 2 credits to draw 2 cards. Repeat for every remote server you have with something installed within it and at least 1 ice protecting it. So they paid 1 credit and they drew 4 cards and gained 4 credits. It's obviously really good. A bit of a setup involved, but pretty good. And they're at 13-0. So if they have hard-hitting news, let alone C-Source here would be brutal. But icing up R&D, and it looks like they might not have any punishment. We could go check out what server 4 is. We have to trash it though. And it looks probably Calvin Bailey, so I'm not that interested in it. Server 1 looks like it might be an agenda. And I think they're just waiting for agenda into Jeeves. So I think we can just do credit. I just don't know what like this is, if this is a price sec. I don't know what upgrade would they be running? Like we can still get through this, like we can logic bomb this. I don't think the second freedom's gonna get us anywhere unless they're on 1-pointers. Actually no, if they're in 3-pointers, the freedoms matters. That's cool. Cal testing maybe? Yeah, Cal testing seems right. I think we can check it. I don't think we have a better play here. We have logic bomb, we're gonna lose a click, so we could always have been a bit more defensive and like turning wheel HQ before we run and potentially lose the rest of our turn. Do we logic bomb this? Ending up with a tag is so bad for us if this is a price sec. It could also just be an Ash. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ash. Dead Ash. I'm just gonna end the run. Will this do anything for us? Not really. We already have one actually. So we want to basically emergent creativity down for Corroder. Oh, I installed the wrong card. Whoops. Want to install that one. Yeah, Ash would make a lot of sense, I think. They should assume that they have money. I didn't want to play the misdirection, obviously. You don't want to show them that. I want to install this one. We're not getting value from it, but next turn I think we're emergent creativity for a Corroder for free by throwing out the brain chip. We still have 2 credits per drip a turn. It's monthly today, and Adam, my favorite. Yeah, we're doing actually requests from chat just to play whatever y'all are interested in. We've got a lot of requests on Thursday for Adam, and we got more requests this afternoon for Adam. So we're playing an Adam game or two. If you have any interest of seeing anything else, obviously just hit me up in chat. Yo, Pow, how's it going? Good evening. What are we doing today? Just request stuff. Ooh, it looks like we didn't go through, and it was sponsorship Jeeves into a 4-2, so we probably should have pushed it. Now Jeeves is going to probably bring back Rashida, which I don't think is that good, and it's an Explodapalooza, which we would have actually blanked. So I think logic bombing that would have been huge. Rashida getting installed, I think we just go for that still. The people love Adam. The people do love Adam. All right, so they're down on 4. Okay, so we're just going to go for it. We also could have boomerang that. Did we have this in hand our whole time? How long have we had a boomerang for? This also just gets carded out of our hands, which is good. So let's see what this is. Server 1. One of my favorite pastimes is trying to make Persephone work. Oh, Corey, Persephone can be really good in certain metas. Any meta with Slot Machine loves it. I'm just going to do this, right? Yeah. So that's still really expensive. So with 4 credits, we have to trash ass on Axis. Find the Truth on top of the deck is an old Hollywood grid. I think we know what this ice is, but we have Film Critic, or where this upgrade is, so it shouldn't matter too much. So Rashida will trash for 1. We'll access that before the Hollywood. Yeah, so we could have gone through this. So they're running 1 of every agenda, which is usually that. But we have Film Critic, so that shouldn't matter. We need to protect our Film Critic at all costs. We know they're drawing into another old Hollywood, which isn't that important. Their economy has dried up a bit. Trashing Jeeves would be okay, but we can't afford it. So we're just going to click for a credit. We'll get our passive card draw. Yeah, we got for the tree draw the last turn. Oh yeah, you're right. And that's why misdirection's here, because we drew it after. Yeah, so it is a free draw. There you go, triple clear with Jeeves into hedge fund. They got the money. We just want to get accesses. Like now the awkward thing is if we run Team Sponsorship with 4 credits, we have to trash it. But we want to be able to run something and not trash it. Here we could technically run archives. Running HQ is also pretty fun. We can see 3 cards. What do we know in their hand? We know that they have the grid that we'd have to trash. We know they have archive memories. So HQ run is a bit iffy. I think we can wait a turn. We can also just build turning wheel and continue to set up. I feel like once we get a second multi-threader, we're in a really good spot because then we can break 1 pachinko a turn for free, which would be nice. Stimac is also obviously a good card. Do we run HQ for 2? If we run HQ for 2, we have to trash the Mamba if we hit it. Or sorry, not the Mamba, the old Hollywood if we hit it, which is awkward. I think we can just like turning wheel up. We can get through this. We know we can get through this. We'll just do the shortcut, bounce HQ, bounce HQ, bounce HQ. So now we can run R&D and see 4 cards next turn. Now, seeing multiple cards with film credit can be rough, but we're also, if they're on Old Hollywood, they're probably on 3-pointers, so we probably want to take a little minute to put that freedom through equality down. In case we're running Sting. That card always gets me. New remote, server 5, another fully operational, who knows? Last click is a bit tricky because you don't want to draw too heavily. Oh, there's another card in server 7, or server 6. So one of these is probably Patrick Bailey. Now they don't have a reason to jam behind the pachinko more than they do behind anything else, on the basis that we know that this is not a very useful card. So we could probably just end up stim hacking Jeeves. I think stim hacking Jeeves is probably one of the better things we can do. If we do that, though, we don't have a breaker, so I think we want to just boomerang stim hack Jeeves. This gets from your heap too, right? Oh no, so if we lose the misdirection, we're in a bad spot. Yeah, I'm going to stim hack Jeeves. Without Jeeves, they can't fast advance 4 2s on the table, and they only have 3 2s. There's only 1 3-2 in NBN and 1 3-1. So they're not rezzing it, so that boomerang gets stranded, but we do get to see the top of the deck. It's a Beal. So that's important. What do we lose? We lost emergent creativity. Okay, so we know there's a Beal on top of the deck. Playing this won't help that much anymore, and we can access a lot of cards here. So we want to make sure we access with 5 credits to make sure that we can steal. Bologna doesn't matter. We can just film credit it. So we're gonna run R&D here for sure. We have to watch out that this is a border control. We've only seen HB on influence, and they have a full 15 influence. So we can do double logic bomb, but I don't think we care about the slot machine. I think we're just gonna do credit, run R&D. 6 could be a backup Jeeves. You're right, it could be. Ooh, it's a gold farmer. So we're just gonna go ahead and, so if we break this for 2 credits and then we could let the slot machine fire bypass it. I don't think we need to bypass the gold farmer when we only cost us 2 to break. It's 4 altogether, but we spend 2 for multi-threader. So we can see what this fires, and then if we really want to logic bomb it to stop them from getting like 3 advancements or whatever. How's it going, old school? Yo, Code, how's it doing? How's it doing? It's a 3 credit loss. That's fine for us. We no longer have the money for Bellonas, so... Oh, no, we do. Did they fire slot machine? I don't think they did. I'm going my streaming today to support the Philly Bail Fund. Oh, shit, yeah. When are you starting? How are you raising money? I put the top card stack on the bottom, reveal the top 3. Did you fire it? They didn't fire. Yeah, it doesn't look like they did. Rookath, what's up? Yeah, we're going to use turning wheel for sure. Here. No, yeah, all good. 2 p.m. Okay, sweet. That's in 2 hours. Are you on Twitch? If you're on Twitch, I'll definitely host your channel after I'm done. I'm going to stream to like 2:33. Direct link to the donate. Nice. Okay, cool. We'll see from R&D. Unable to pay? Wait, why? Oh, wrong button. So we know there's a Beal on top. We're not going to host it. Because we want to host Bologna or something. There's another Jeeves, a Data Ward, a Mamba Temple, that's a restricted card, and that's it. So we're on game point. And it's another Rashid in server 5. So they're going to draw all the cards that we saw. So they drew a Jeeves, a Mamba Temple, and another card. I forgot what it was. Bless you. Did Daily Business Show also filtering that, so in theory they can draw 1 unknown card. We're down on 2 credits, and again, our econ generation just hasn't been good. I think we have 3 Rizekis, and we haven't drawn a single one. Obviously, like, mulliganing into the Rizeki is like one of the biggest things you can do. Like, we would have had, yeah, fuck. If we installed a Rizeki, we would have had an extra 7 credits, 8 credits, which is a really big deal. Like, we probably should have just emergent creativity for Rizeki in the early game. Oh, Data Ward, thank you. And now they're in Game Point. Our Film Critic is still good. It looks like they don't have Punishment. Server 5, install advance. Could be NGO. Could be literally anything else. I think we run it, right? I think we just set up credits, run it. Still no Rizeki. Like, if this is an SSL, like, it's fine. We can Logic Bomb whatever this is. Or not SSL, NGO, I mean. Like, their ice on average costs 1 to 4. It's a fully operational. It's a Bologna. Yeah, okay, we'll host it. So they have to trash your Film Critic or they will lose next turn. Is this deck playing NGOs? I don't know, fanboy. I have no idea. We haven't seen any. Oh yeah, Film Critic. Oof. Oof. ECing for Rizeki is totally legit and fun. Yeah, I think so. I think we should have done that. I didn't realize how much of our economy is tied up specifically in Rizeki. Like, it's just daily cast in Rizeki. We don't have like, we have 1 caddy. We don't have Liberated. The Rising Jeeves. MCA informant? That shouldn't matter. That doesn't do anything. It doesn't actually blank the text box. But that's their Film Critic version. There's my a mole the whole time. All right, so we're just gonna obviously double click this to take the agenda off. A good game. Cool. So like, obviously we're so favored when they're playing an old Hollywood grid deck and you're running Film Critic. Like, it's just night and day. It's night and day. Yeah, just in time. This deck doesn't really have chances versus Film Critic. It's a shame. I know that feeling. Yo, Jessica, how's it going? Welcome. Good afternoon. Or evening, I guess, right? Multi-threader is really good, but early on trashing it for EC for Zeki's way better. Yeah, multi-threader is really good. 2 credits a turn is nuts. Like, I remember playing Anarch decks that would like splash 3 multi-threader and just be like, oh, now I can run for free. Like, bad publicity. Like, I like it a lot. But you just need to get the economy going to be able to trash assets and like deal with hard-hitting news. Like, the fact that I also weren't on hard-hitting news, we did have the misdirection in hand, but like if we had to spend a whole turn clearing the misdirection. And in terms of economy cards left in our deck, oh yeah, we have 3 pad taps. Those are kind of cute, but they don't really have like assets ticking along. They probably have Marylands in their deck if they're doing Jeeves. Maybe they're just on Calvins and teams, I don't know. Then we missed 3 Rizekis, a Gamble, 2 Dirty Laundries, and the single caddy. But like, yeah, we got pretty unlucky on the setup. Had a great birthday on Friday! Hey, the rest of the day's less great, but 1 out of 4 is okay. Hey, happy birthday. Did you do anything cool? What's your decoder? We're on Amina, Rash. I really don't like Critic as a card. Either it doesn't do much or totally destroys. I agree. I think, fanboy, I think that's a pretty popular opinion for what it's worth. I wish it was more nuanced. I wish it was a one-shot ability. I wish this text, you had to consider it more. Maybe if the corp could interact with it too, so like running last click had some like feedback or some like counterplay. I think there's way better ways to build a more reasonable Film Critic. Yo, Frank, how you doing? Francis, welcome. I watched a film with my partner and played D&D with my little brother and sister. That's super cute. Quite nice. Do you want to say what film it was? We, Maddie and I just watched on Friday night Arrival, which is something I've seen before, and we watched it again. And I don't want to spoil that movie, but if you know what that movie is about, watching it again is legitimate. It's a really great film. Soundtrack's great too. Yo, Piox, good game, yo. I think it's time to stop trying to make Hollywood decks until Film Critic has rotated. Don't they both rotate at the same time, though? I think they both rotate exactly the same time. GL patron. Pardon. Thanks, you too. It's hard enough as it is without a card that completely hard counters it. Yeah, right? Arrival's really good. Yeah, Arrival's great. Okay, this is Controlling the Message, which is one of the harder matchups. We obviously don't want to have to run a turn, so I don't think we're in any means favored in this matchup. That opening hand, though, is kind of cool. Pat Tap is good for early, Gamble's good early, Rizeki is a good way to not have to deal with Mumbad Virtual Tour, but I don't know. I feel like if we run anything and trash it. Yeah, this is going to be hard. From Up on Poppy Hills, or watching through Studio Ghibli films. Oh, I don't know if I definitely haven't seen that one. I'm a big Ghibli fan though. CTM, this matchup sucks. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. Yeah, happy birthday. That's really cool. Okay, so what could this be? AR enhanced security. There's a lot of things it could be. So we could always like install Rezeki, run it. The worst case scenario is that we end up with a tag, and that's a really big thing in the CTM matchup. Thinking a big thing about the CTM matchup is taking a tag on turn 1 is not disastrous. It's really not that big of a deal if you run something, trash something, float the tag, and you say next turn I'm going to clear it, because there's not a lot of legitimate one tag punishment besides closed accounts, and in turn 1 you're probably on like 4 credits if you trash something. So that means that you're good. We're not good on turn 1. We can't float a tag because as soon as they trash our directives, we're in a really bad spot. So I think all we can do is set up and hope that this isn't something disastrous for us. So I think we're going to draw Rezeki, Pat Tap. So yeah, we can draw in here. Oh, we don't actually want to draw because we're Adam, of course. So we'll just credit. Because we get the free card draw anyways. Film credit can be pretty good. Oh, sorry, because both of Quantum and because of Bologna. Looks like server 1 isn't anything that matters. So that the fuck is going on? Okay, that could be a Mumbad virtual tour. That's kind of what that looks like. So now, and I know we said we don't want to do this, we're going to pressure Centrals just to get them to spend money to res ice, because this is probably an IP block, Enigma maybe, whatever it is, they're going to spend money on it. It's an Enigma. There, we called it at least. So they're on 3 credits. So now we can run R&D. They can res an Enigma IP block. All that stuff is good for us. It's an IP block, so they can do the trace. We can spend 3 to get the access, which we probably have to do, but now they're on 1 credit. So we have to trash a card here if we access, right? So we don't get the tag because of CTM. It's a slot machine, so they're on a slot machine. Nice defense construct they got on our guys. Yeah, just wait till they advance it. All right, we'll dirty laundry this bad boy. We know that we don't have to hit Mumbad Virtual, but looks like 1 in this is Mumbad Virtual. There could be Price X somewhere too. Don't want to always be running against CTM, coward. Yeah, right? I'm really liking them on Neighbor Totoro and when Marnie was there in particular. Thanos, nothing special with Adam. It's just a deck list given by a narco. Is it supposable HQ in archives? It could be. I don't know. I think they just want to block that up. We also know that we've seen agenda, we can run it. This dirty laundry can be really bad because we're forced to trash, and we probably have to clear the card manually, the tag manually, just to Beal on top of their deck. So Rashida, so we'll trash that. We have the trace, but we can't boost into it because we don't get the dirty laundry money. So we're going to basically have a tag here. So we have to remove the tag. We know they're going to have Beal in hand. We could run here, do trace 3, steal the Beal, but I feel like we're in a really good spot. And again, just trashing their cards is probably good enough. Obviously, these multi-threaders are dead in the early game. We can just click for 2. Like, it's going to be a slow... That's also the problem with CTM. Like, it's a slow matchup. We don't have RNG key, Jessica, unfortunately. I don't know why... Why do Adam decks not play that? That card looks so good. Old School says that Mean Critic was needed at the time of printing to stop midseason combo decks. They were so OP in Astro and Sansa. Yeah, totally. Against midseason, it was the biggest deal, and I used to play a heck of a lot of midseasons. All right, we know there's a Beal in hand. The issue is that our Amina is really expensive, so we could Boomerang run HQ. That's probably pretty good. Obviously, these are not... we don't really have a target for dirty laundry, so now we're just going to start installing stuff that we're not excited about. Like, playing this for 3 is not worth it, so we're just not going to get a free card draw. So we're just going to draw 1 and discard. Another Rezeki is so good. We just played this. We didn't have to. It was a bad tempo play, but with double Rezeki and them have an empty board, we might be in an okay spot, but their money is clicking up. And there, we need to find a Boomerang or Logic Bomb to be able to deal with that. Crowder's good. Crowder multi-threader is now, like, legitimate. If we draw, what can we play here? Pad up? Yeah, that's fine. So now we're making 2 credits a turn, which is better than them clicking for. Yeah, we have Amina? Yeah, we do have Amina. Amina's good. Just clicking, install a card in the remote server. So we can always like run this, obviously. Logic Bomb is a bit tricky when we access something that we have to trash and then they have more money than us and they make us get that trace money. That's obviously the bad thing. That's the bad thing. If this goes through instead AR enhanced security, it's pretty rough for us. It's actually really, really annoying for us because we have to trash cards that have trash costs and then we take a tag. So I think we can just probably like click 3 here and run this and see how it goes. We're gonna forego our free card draw, but we can always Logic Bomb through this. If they res like a Data Raven, we're laughing. It's a slot machine, so let's see how bad this is for us. Program event resource. Now we can both pay 3 on this, and then we probably have enough to trash and do the trace still. But maybe not. Like, we have to trash. If this is the 3rd Mumbad virtual grid, we're in a really bad spot. They have a Bankers on top of their deck. This is Cali testing. We have to trash it. It's not a choice, and they have to do a trace here, so we have to spend 4. Like, how hard is this? This is so hard. Like, this is why you play the trace card, why the defector might be a lot worse than the other thing. So the good hard hitting is news is here. We don't have access to multi-threader. We don't have like emergent creativity. That is likely to be the bankers group, which is fine. They gain 2, we gain 1. What's the trash cost in bankers group? 2? Or is it 3? I think it's 2. Feels bad. Yeah, this is just not a fun matchup. And they iced up HQ, and we know there's a Beal in there. In theory, this could be a Beal. Ugh. This is where like Liberated and Caddy would be good. Like if we had Caddy, we'd be just hitting Caddy every turn, and we wouldn't have an issue. But we only have a single Caddy. We obviously can't tutor for it. We don't play hostage. So much of this matters on interaction. So much. And again, we can't float a single tag. It's just so bad for us. We're just not going to get card draw until we get that Beal. Why would they score a Beal? Wouldn't they give up all tempo? Yeah, it could be. But server 1 easily could be a team sponsorship as well, so not entirely. They just trashed our pad tap, which I think they wanted to do on the turn prior. Alright, at least we can now trash this. We'll draw once for a gamble. We don't have it. So emergent creativity gets us access to our third Rizeki, which could be important, or also to another breaker, because now they're icing up centrals. So getting central access is going to be really hard, so it's all about like contesting the remote. So again, we have to trash this. We know there's an IP block on top of their deck. Trash for 2. We're going to let the trace go through, and then we'll just clear the tag. Or we're just never going to get the free card draw. Playing the Crowder is so rough, right? Because they iced this up, but now they have an IP block. They drew an unknown card. Ice on server 3. Card in server 3. Man, Rizekis are good. If they score a Beal here, it's not that bad unless it's a team sponsorship. And even that's like... meh. Oh, I don't know what to do. We need to get our Amina down. It's just way too expensive. I think we need a third Rizeki. Do we have buffer drive? No. No, we don't. We don't have the buffer drive Amina combo. And anything that's expensive with buffer drive is really good with emergent creativity, but then you also have to pay the buffer drive, and the buffer drive isn't an amazing card, is it? Second Film Critic, it doesn't really matter to install it. It's not bad. It means if they trash one, you have a second one, and it's non-unique for some reason. So you could, but it's, again, so hard. Oh, there she is. Oh my god. Perfect. Caddy's such a good card in this deck, but it feels so bad we're only running 1. More than 2 it is what I meant. Yeah, running 2 is hard, right? Because it's a unique card. It's also like a slow click intensive card, which can be hard in the early game when you just want to get cards out of your hand. This looks like a calibration testing. So I'm assuming they're on Jeeves, what's it called? The HB team sponsorship, stuff like that. Okay, Earthrise is good. This gives us access to options as expensive it is, but we want a Rizeki, and all we need is money at some point, because they still have a lot to do if we don't interact with them. Because again, if they score a Beal here, that's all they're doing. Like, they're halfway through their deck. They've scored nothing. They're on 7 credits, and this deck probably does not have hedge funds, let alone definitely doesn't have IPOs. MC Informant is the scary thing about Caddy, but I haven't seen that in a CTM deck, I don't think ever. Give us another Rizeki. Another Pat Tap's okay. And so we know the drill here. We can always throw out this brain chip to get another card draw and to get something else on the table. Now our MU is the issue. If we don't steal an agenda, we're going to need the MU. I'm not worried about sentries, and we have the code gate decoder in hand. So I don't actually know if we do it. We might just want to throw out the brain chip and click for 2. Just eventually we'll get accesses. They're not having a daily business show too, so their hand must have multiple agendas in it. Wow, and they can't afford that, can they? Okay, so we're dirty laundry this. If it's a Mumbed virtual tour, that's the worst case scenario by far. We have things we can install now. Start pressuring HQ. Yeah, we need to get our Mina down though. It's a daily quest. Oh, what? It's a daily business show, so we have to trash that. We either pay 4 here or 2 and a click. I think 2 and a click is fine because we have enough clicks to do everything we want. We have to watch out for C-Source to trash Caddy. So I think next turn we're going to start getting our accesses down. Oh. So Cali testing into a 4-2. It's a daily quest. We need to trash that. But actually we get 2 from Pad Tap. Do we care? I don't think so. Yeah, let's hit HQ. Gonna switch on Twitch for a smaller delay. Ah, I see you there. CTM is gonna be so much more egregious when Sensei comes back in the new most wanted list. Do you think that's a thing? I wanted so much. I've just started imagining all the wild things. Sensei's so gross. So much creativity. We have words. It's emerging everywhere. Yeah, I think we'll go HQ here. So the worst case here would be like a Cobra, or even like a, what's it called? The guilty. We don't have the MU for the multi-threader. But now we can pay 2 and make them lose 1. Oh, it's a slot machine. How bad is this for us? Resource program resource. So either they gain 3 or we can make them pay 4 and then they lose 1. Seems good. And now their money's gonna be tight. We probably want to end up running that soon. So we spend 6 for this run. Again, multi-threader will help that. We're gonna see 2 cards here. Hopefully the Beal is in here. It has to be, right? This is in archives. And it easily could be in archives. They've been throwing it a lot. Top of the deck is a team sponsorship. Project Beal, nope. Steel, all-seeing eye. All right, now our hand size is 5, which is good. Running archives now, we should have the money to do it soon. When this fires, we'll get 2 more credits. We probably want to go trash that now, honestly. We haven't trashed a thing, so we don't have the trace yet. But the trace obviously is disastrous, because if we end our turn with 1 tag, that's a price tag. They all seeing IS and we lose the whole game. So we're just going to click for a credit here. We also could run R&D. We saw the top card of the deck. It didn't matter, did it? We'll just click for credit. Guessing only 1 Amina since it's 4? Yes. What are your other creative targets? Multi Rizeki? Yeah, Misdirection. So that's the team sponsorship. They're on 7. We gain 2 from that. Oh, we also have Hunting Grounds. That's obviously very, very, very good. I don't think I've seen Tribunal fire, but the card is cool. There was a regional in which Dean in Toronto fired a Tribunal in HB Assets Bound deck and a Moons deck, and it was the most wild thing. Trashing DQ would be correct play ammo since drip for 2. Them dripping for 3 is a lot. Think you win this one? You're right. We do need to trash it. If we had a Stim Hacker, it'd be better. Yeah, we trash this for free-ish. Also, if they gain 3, we gain. Yeah, we can't let them have the money. I just wish we had a Stim Hack here. But this could be bad for us if this is a Mumbed Virtual Tour. I don't know. If I end with a tag, I think you win. So we could Hunting Grounds this. They can still raise a Data Raven. I think we break this for 4 regardless, so I don't care. Turning Wheel Resource Event. So, oh man, yeah. This is actually going to be expensive. Oh, never mind. Multi-threader. Don't see it happening. Okay. How's it going, Captain? Good stuff in the tournament, eh? In the Ocarina. All right, so this... Now they're on 1 credit. So we don't have to break all the subroutines. That's kind of why it's easier to use Paperclip on JNet. So even if we don't trash this, we're fine because we gain 2 credits. So resource event resource. Oh, man. Yeah, we'll have enough money to trash that. They can't price check us anymore. This is scary. Like, we're at the point of screwing up. It's a Mani Sanai. So this will gain. We'll trash it for 3. Oh, wait. We can't clear the tag. No, we did just fuck up. Shrink face, please. I think we just threw the game. I think they're all seeing ISS now. No, now we goofed it up. What are we doing? Wait. We didn't even think. We didn't do any math. Oh yeah, we have to trash. We could have bounced off of that to gain the money, but we shouldn't have gone through all the way. It was way too expensive. All right, so we're gonna have to win without any resources. It's a Cali testing. I don't know what happened. I wasn't paying attention. Let's clear out, neutralize all threats. Okay. So. Well, joke's on them. They don't have money, am I right? Now at least we can run archives. Could you have done Hunting Grounds on the 2nd slot machine? Yeah, but we'd still lose 3. Horse, yeah. GG. Oh, wait. Wait, no, we have quantum predictive. Oh, no, we still win. We still win. Oh my god, didn't matter. Did not matter in the slightest. Oh no, it does. No, it doesn't. That's 7. Oh, so sorry. Yeah, we didn't see the. Yeah, didn't see the assets. That's hilarious. That's rough. Good game. Oh man, yo, we totally, obviously, we threw that in the toilet, straight in the toilet. We had full information, like we knew what that was probably, and we knew the other card, and we still goofed it so bad. But archives, like, they probably felt pretty good with whatever this is. I'm assuming it's a Mumbet Virtual, but they had everything in there. Now they would have scored the quantum predictive model. I'm assuming, yeah, they're on the exchange plan with probably C-Source, honestly, but we're good. Why would they slow play with the daily when they're flooded? Because they needed to get the money up, I'm assuming, and so that we would fuck up like that, I'm also assuming, but no, they needed the money. I think they threw these out a couple turns ago. Like 5 face downs were there in a while, and they just drew the daily quests. I think if they didn't res the daily quest, this might have been more interesting, but just like you said, if this, we knew that Server 6 was a team sponsorship, if they scored a Beal or whatever, they'd be in a really bad spot. Long time listener, first time caller, GG. Yo, Ian, how's it going? Welcome. Matush also, hey Jessica, maybe Captain Nice Sunny would be good for his stream. How's it going, Mr. GG? Yeah, GG. Oh boy, that's awful for them. They weren't doing a whole lot. Yeah, it's like super weird. Like normally in CTM, they put something down every turn, and they obviously didn't do it. This is a Mumbet Virtual Tour, right? Oh, it's actually a Pricek, which they can't afford to fire, but that's spicy. I kind of like that card sometimes better than a Mumbet Virtual Tour, just because people play around Mumbet and they don't play around Pricek. And again, when you're playing on All-Seeing Eye, them ending their turn with a tag is more important a lot of times than them spending credits on Mumbet Virtual Tour traces. At the end of the day, you probably still trash this for 3 and then do the trace anyways. Mistakes into the win. No math into Hail Mary. I ran the right move every time. Yeah, sometimes, well, at that point, we played through our outs. But we needed that stim hack for this remote for sure, or at least not to go all the way through. Like, they spent a lot of money rezzing, and then we were good. Okay, that's Adam. Adam is cool. Adam is cool. Adam can do some cool stuff. I think you still have the issues that, like, Adam almost always has consistently had, where like if you don't get early game going, a lot of your installs are really bad. They're like mid game tempo cards or mid game value cards, not even tempo cards, that don't do too much for you. Like you saw how many times where it's just like, oh, I want economy, and sure, you could play a different deck list, of course, but like so many times we're like, we want economy, and then we're drawing into like multi-threaders, and like even like emergent creativity for anything in the deck besides Rozeki is not very good in the early game. You got the logic bombs and boomerangs, but then you don't have any built-in multi-axis. Like I think for Adam, you might be in a better spot, and it's hard right now to get the influence in here. But like I would love to see cards like not R&D interface, Maker's Eye or Legwork. The ability, and you don't need Legwork in Adam. That's totally not true. But like the ability in the early game to find an agenda seems incredibly important. I also don't understand why RNG key doesn't exist in this list. RNG key is so good. It's basically like a permanent R&D based Temujin contract, right? Like it's when you run R&D, you get 3 credits. That's insane. That's literally nuts. That it's so good, and I don't see why we wouldn't play it. HQ multi-axis and Find the Truth mean no multi-axis needs to be in. Yeah, totally. I think HQ you don't need, but like we need to have the ability to in the early game to assure that we get an agenda early. We don't have any expose, which is kind of hard to put into that. That sometimes helps as well when you need to logic bomb things. It's really cool, right? Like the idea is that if you know what's in the remote, you can almost always get there with boomerang logic bomb in the early to mid game. So having maybe some expose matters, but at the end of the day, it's still really hard. And I feel like if we just had more passive economy, I'd like this list a bit better. Hey, Ian headed out. Thanks for casting. Glad you can make it. Steven, what's up? Glad you were able to do the Adam deck today. Thanks. Yeah. We want to take some more requests today. I think that's what we're just going to be doing for a while. The boomers used to be falsified. Oh, yeah? The boomerang seems good too, though, right? Could we have some Jinteki deck? Yeah, let's see what we can do. What kind of Jinteki, though? Like damage. Fad says, any chance you want to try that Fast Events MirrorMorph deck? Same guy that was talking about it on Thursday. Yo, Fad. Yeah, actually, okay. We can do that. Do you have the list? Now to Apex. Oh, I don't know what that. I'm undecided which one I prefer. Yeah, that was the Narco Mushrooms deck, by the way. They gave us when we started the stream. 1 sec. Okay, cool. Hunter, we'll do Jinteki after we do the MirrorMorph, because we got asked to do the MirrorMorph on Thursday and we didn't have time, so we'll do it now. Thanos says the last item I ran with was Emergency, 3x Fem, Amina Nexus, use Datafold. Yeah, you showed me that deck list before. And like, for those who don't know, there's a really cool combo when you're playing expensive cards in Atom. Because Atom plays Emergent Creativity, which is a really, really strong card, let alone a really, really strong Atom card. The idea is that you can throw out programs or hardware and then install a card, reducing its cost by the card you threw out. But Buffer Chip says when you trash a card, and this makes you trash the card as the cost, you can put that card on the bottom of your deck, which means that card is in your deck, so you can like throw out Emergent Creativity of Femme Fatale from hand if the buffer drive is on table to install that same Femme Fatale for free. And so Thanos was doing wild things where you start playing Security Nexus and stuff like that because you can install them pretty easily. Can we do a Tenon that doesn't sit there in FA? That's an interesting question. What would you do with the Tenon tokens if you don't sit there in FA? Like, besides Red Planet Couriers, you just get good ice. You can get Biovault for value. More value with La Costa Grid. It's a possibility, but that's the issue. Is like, as soon as you don't like Tenon Fortress up and you go a bit wider, the Tenon ability gets less relevant every day. Like every server you add. The thumbnail on the Ocarina Part 2 looks great once again. Oh, thank you, Steven. Yeah, again. We've been making some cards with Mnemix card creator, and we're going to be doing more content about that. I think next week. I need to talk to Mnemonic though. I haven't asked them exactly. Masscoms, Kayambe, I guess. Oh, I guess you could do Kayambe over La Costa. That's a good point. All right, this is the deck list from Fadshare in Twitch. There are some really cool lines with this deck, not are all super obvious. That said, I'm not sure I love the agenda suite, and sometimes I think calibration testing is excessive. The idea is to rush an early agenda, then fast advance everything else. Okay, so let's crunch this through. There used to be an Atom deck that would run Monolith and EC out of Monolith, but it meant running ABR because you need the hand size. It was stupid. That was the issue with Monolith. Like, even if you got Monolith down, it wasn't that good. So, bummer. Okay, so this is a MirrorMorph deck. MirrorMorph is the new identity from Nisei. It's a pretty interesting one too. The first, second, and third actions, if you do on your turn, are all different. You can either get a credit or do another action you haven't done for a click last. So you get a free action or just a free credit a turn, which as long as your turn is a bit interesting, it's like an engineering the future if you play with the core set. So what we want to do, we want to rush out an agenda in the early game, which can be pretty difficult against some matchups. I think Criminal might be the hardest with Boomerang, but I think that's a big reason why we're spending 6 influence on Spiderweb. They can't Boomerang that. Our Ice Suite is pretty lousy. It's missing some of the strong things that you would expect in an HB sort of deck, I would assume. Rototurret is pretty scary. Now, the biggest issue with Rototurret is that Amakua eats it very, very easily. And we don't even have anything to pressure Amakua. We have no AI hate, and I don't think we can ice up anything, which is pretty scary. At the end of the day, like, all this stuff is like sub 4 strength. Most of them is actually at 0 strength too, half of them, which can be an issue. But that's at least an interesting face check. We have 3 Biotic Hedge Fund IPO red level clearance. So we're really one track mind of want to fast advance things out. What can we fast out? We have 3 Mega Pre, which are really strong. We have Vacheron, which is just don't lose quickly, and Vitruvius, and then a CST. We have 3 base Chiraboga, which we put that on a remote server, and they still have to trash it for 4. Otherwise, we get a cheap Biotic, which is nice. Austerity Policy, always scary. Nano Etching, I never played this card, and I don't think it's particularly good, but it's a lot better with MirrorMorph when you want to click this, and then NGO Front. I honestly think Rashida might be better in this deck, just because there's not a lot of things in a remote server we're trying to advance, and our ice is pretty shit. It's not particularly good. So if they run through our server to hit the NGO front, like, they're not spending a lot of money, and then we just get 8 credits. I think a lot of times we would want to just do Never Advance because all our other cards are like Never Advancey. That's my thinking. The ice is mostly Gearcheck since we score out of hand. Keeping them out isn't a big deal. Well, I don't know. I don't think that's entirely true because, like, if they put down a Stargate or put an R&D interface, I don't know how we're ever going to win, right? Because, like, we can't keep them out of centrals. And then they can pressure HQ a bit. Like, you still need to keep agendas in HQ safely with Biotic, let alone draw them. So it'll be interesting. I'm so bad with MirrorMorph if I try to hard to just get credit or value and it goes badly. No Hagen? Yeah, Hagen's one of the weird, like, I would assume there'd be 1 Fairchild in here, 1 Hagen, at least 2 Hagens. Hagens are really good. The ice is mostly Gearcheck, excuse me. I think Mirror is all about FA tempo scare. Austerity at 2 is the same austerity as 3 for other corps. Yeah, we do have the cool austerity play for sure. Where austerity at 2 can score out of 5-3, right? If that's correct. I'll give this a shot. It seems interesting. There's a lot of 3-ofs that or Buck Wild. Like, I feel like we might be good with, is Jeeves good in this deck? I feel like Jeeves is good about it in any deck, and I feel like just getting more card draw would be good. I'd be interested, like, how is MirrorMorph good in this deck specifically, if had? Is MirrorMorph just good because of the austerity policy? Because how else do you MirrorMorph, right? Like, if we do Biotic, install Advance, then we can get a MirrorMorph trigger, but we can't install Biotic or Advance, so we just get a credit back. That's a thing. Like, would we not be better if we did Asa? I don't know. Base but no Restore. Oh yeah, Restore is also really strong with both Austerity and Base. Restore Base is a clickless install. And then you can get a click back sometimes with Base. Red level Base can FA of 5/3. Oh, that's totally true, right? Like, red level clearance. So you get the click back, you've installed, you spend a click playing an operation, and then you clicklessly install this. Then you use Base. So now you're at 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks, and then you install a card, then you can advance, and then you can advance 4 more times, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's true. Matish says Tranquility Home Grid. Yeah, Tranquility Home Grid is a possibility. It's probably best with Base and an NGO because they're the only things that trash and go, but I don't know, it's hard. I feel like Rashida might be better than Tranquility. Played against a MirrorMorph running Vapor Frame Fabricator. It was crazy good, but the deck was going a bit horizontal and Tranquility good economy. Vapor Frame's like the install -2 credits. It's like the mini. I honestly wish there was more cards like Vapor Frame that were not Jinja. And I've seen some cool designs made by people that are like to replace Jinja. I'm not a big fan of Jinja. I think it just snowballs really hard. I wish there was like Jinja once a turn as opposed to Jinja every card you draw. I don't know. I don't think people are complaining about Jinja that much. I think I am. Boo, Jinja. Okay, no, it's Jessica as well. I've never seen that card played. You can mess with it. Still in progress. Yeah, Fad. No, like I just wanted like to give you my 2 cents about it, and definitely will try it. Obviously, like if it's not optimized, it's not optimized, but it's interesting. And there's a lot of times where I don't know what I'm doing with HB a lot of times. I don't play a lot of HB, and I could definitely look at this list and be like, it doesn't make sense to me, and it turns out to be very good. So, like, I'm not poo-pooing, I hope. I'm just trying to say what I think. Yo, Ocarina games are uploaded. Yo, Dimmy, what's up? Yeah, all the Ocarina games are uploaded. It's in 2 parts. We put up part 2 yesterday. Its thumbnail has 4 corpse on it, and then the runner was uploaded last week when we did the tournament. But all that games are up. It's like 7 hours of content. What's the restricted card in this? I don't think there is. Excuse me, I don't think there is. I don't know if we'd be better with a restricted card. Honestly, food is not the worst, but Vacheron's pretty good. Food is influence though. Yeah, Kali testing might be overkill. That's true. We can always Kali testing red level clearance, which is cute. Restore also would be really cute. Restore with Kali testing is actually no, you can only do 1. I don't know. We'll see. For one with Jinja and Ocarina, it's so boring. It is also kind of boring, isn't it? The numbers on Jinja are wild. Vapor is a nice Jinja-ish card. Yeah, it's a nice one. Jinja's saving is really good. The trade-off is supposed to be information, but I still think the trash is a bit high on it. The trash is really high on it. There's very low cost to playing Jinja. Sure, the exposing the ice thing like helps a bit, but like at the end of the day, with border control, no, it doesn't really, does it? Iain, ooh. Okay, so we're playing against Criminal, and Ian's gonna sit back a bit and let us get some triggers, thanks you two, and get us ahead on the board. Our opening hand doesn't have too much economy in it, which we might want to mulligan. I think we have enough ice to get something on HQ to watch out for the diversion of funds. Ian's also only working with 10 influence, which isn't a lot, but Drafter is not great unless we have something to trash. Base in the early game, I think we can mulligan this for something that gives us a bit more value. Nano Etching seems good. Drafter on HQ is like fine, I guess. Okay, so we're off to the races. Austerity policy. So we want to do 3 different things on a turn, which is gonna break my head while trying to talk at the same time. So we can install etching. We can use etching. Then we can ice. That's not gonna do it. We can get austerity policy down this turn, but we kind of want to ice that up. Trashing this for 3 is not 0, but it's something. I think we're gonna, unless we draw here, right? Because we could do draw, install, use, and then we can free install. You usually can't do 3 different things on turn 1. Damn. If we have hedge fund, you could. If we did hedge fund, install, use. But yeah, I think we need ice HQ so we don't get diverted. I know this is not great against diversion of funds, but it's something. Let's just hit our magnum opus. For those who don't know, nano etching matrix, you can click it once a turn to gain 2, and if the runner trashes, you get 2 more. So that's a 5 credit swing. People generally don't trash this, but at the end of the day, it's usually uniced, at least in MirrorMorph, less so in Asa, which is a problem if they're on Amakua. They have free accesses. Data folding, they're going to go slow. Luckily, we're going to go as fast as possible. As fast as possible. Let's start the turn with 5 credits. We just want a piece of ice here, so we can draw once. Okay, so we can definitely Biotic out of the Vitruvius. Not particularly compelling. We get this on the table and they don't trash it. That's good too. So we can install this into a new remote. Hopefully the thing's in Maryland. We'll hit this and then we get a click back. So we can gain a credit or gain a click. With the credit, we can't install anything. So we'll just get the click. Right now we're very efficient. Red level clearance is usually the thing. Yeah, red level clearance is also really strong. Our most decks now are built around Nisei cards. Hunter, not exactly. Like there's still, there's so many cards. All right, they're gonna go trash that. There are still so many cards from the original core sets that are still super strong. I think some of the Nisei cards do fit that, but I don't think, it's hard to say. I wouldn't say that the Nisei cards are that clearly the win conditions of the decks, but they're definitely very important and strong pieces. And Etchings always gets instantly trashed. Really? Get out. Okay, this is clumsy too. We could spend 7 to Biotic out of Vitruvius, but then it turns Iain on. That feels kind of bad. We just want a piece of ice for any piece of ice with austerity, really. Draw once. We don't have it. This is going to be a clumsy turn. I really don't know what we do here. We can't actually throw out the Vacherons because we don't have preemptives. Yeah, it's not a great hand. We also don't have recursion with restore, so if they trash the austerity, it's like, I think we're going to throw out the austerity. Or on the table, I mean. I know we're not hitting it. I do try trash nano etching. MirrorMorph's money can get out of hand. I haven't played against it in a long while ago. You have recursion. What recursion do we have? We don't have recursion. FC came down, makes sense. They usually want to go FC before they run so they don't get their ID ability. Yeah, totally. They don't want to steal agenda points. So they have to trash this for 3. It's not a lot. Drafter and Overmed's Vitruvius? Yeah, that's hard though. I don't think Drafter, we can consider it to be recursion. They're trashing this. Yeah, we'll gain the money. I don't consider that recursion. Like, I want archive memories. I want to restore. I want preemptive action. Oh, this is broken, it seems. Huh. Looks like most of my games against you just swimming in agendas. Woof. I think Corey says I think nano etching is a mistake in MirrorMorph. I feel like this deck would actually be better with Calvin Bailey to some extent. Like we just want, yeah, me too. Like we just want more card draw because this is happening. Like what do we do here? If we give them a Mega Pre, they're not going to bring it off the film critic. So we draw once. Okay, this is something, I guess. We probably want to give them the early Mega Pre, but we're hoping we can Biotic out this with a counter. Score Vitruvius, I don't know, spending 7 and then giving them 2 a turn seems really bad. Like I want to be able to get something with value. Like, well, I'll pay a Biotic to get 4 on this Vitruvius. That seems a lot better. Jessica says I really dislike Vacheron, but at least we don't lose with a single legwork. Yeah, it's true. I don't know, I think Vacheron's a cool design. I haven't been frustrated with it yet. It makes exciting games. All right, looks like we're going to lose this too. And again, yeah, the rush early agenda play is really hard against Boomerang, but that's why we have all the spider webs, I guess. We're not going to res it. So we definitely should have given the Mega Pre there. I was pretty convinced that they're going to be on an early Boomerang. And if we give them the Mega Pre, it's at least more awkward if they pull it out. But like, I don't think we're going to do anything smart here. Fuck it. Love Vacheron's design. Oh, I mean, goof it. We've been pulled off YouTube a fair bit recently. Vacheron's cool, but playing against it in Spombo lists are a bit boring. Yeah, I could see that. I definitely could see that. Yeah, this NGO really doesn't help us if we don't need money. I think we want more card draw. Or just more ice, even. Patap coming down. We could have Biotic to finish this. I think we were considering that initially. We could still do it. We could do Biotic Advance to get the Vacheron out. It's pretty rough. No. Slowly tax them, no need to FA? Yeah, I don't think so. They can't play 2 Boomerangs, and they still need to get through a Gatekeeper, so inside job here is obviously like the worst thing. Biotic? I don't know, Kyle. How's it going, by the way? I feel like we can just score this thing out. Like, we don't have a play next turn, so having a naked remote isn't that good. Gamble, Earthrise, yeah, there you go. Alright, so now their ability's online. We can jam something into this remote. I feel like the calorie testing or the Mega Pre, if we score this now, it's not particularly compelling. So I think we just want to put the calorie testing so we can score Vitruvius in, hopefully. I generally don't like cards that mess with how agendas work, but the fact that they're completely useless and if the game has 3 or fewer turns left is egregious. Yes. But I don't know. It's cool that you have to be able to score the game out. It feels like Obokata to some ways, right? Like they're late game when you don't have those credit cards in hand. I don't know. Falsified credentials. They know that the guest upgrade. It's a Kali testing. How'd the guest upgrade? That's a wild guess. Damn. So we could score out a 5-3 from hand. Oh, wow. So we can't recur these, the biotics. We'll have one left. So we could do this plus 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, we're actually short. Score the 5-3 from hand. I don't think we can. If we do Vacheron advance. Sorry, if we do install, we have to advance this 4 times, right? Thinking. So that means we have to install advance, then we have to do biotic, advance, and then Kali testing, right? So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, we just don't have any credits. Do NGO first for a money boost then? Yeah, we'd have to do it next turn. I'm gonna res this just so they don't threaten to run the remote because we want to keep our Kali testing. We could have done it in a naked remote actually. It'd probably be better because now they at least have a reason to run this. 22 credits. They haven't shown a reason why they're playing Iain yet. So the late game control card, whether they're on Nexus or what have you, we don't know. But like, I don't know. We're not doing anything. Further action, please. Yes, if they make a pre, they'll put it on Film Critic. But our HK is pretty safe. Did you count the free MM credit in your math? No, I didn't, but we'd still be short 1. They trashed the nano etching. We don't get the 2 credits because the text is only on when it's installed. Now they have the Begalters so they can pressure HQ. We're going to fast advance out from hand. So 4, install, biotic, advance. We'll gain a credit. Res. Oh man, place an advancement. Biotic, advance. Seems good. All right. Now, if we draw into the last biotic, which is a 1 in 31, or we get a base to stick on the table, or the final nano etching, or not nano etching, sorry, Kali testing, we'll be able to close the game out. Couldn't you install with red level to save a biotic? You can't install an agenda with red level. Red level is non-agenda cards. But if we had a Kali testing in hand, I guess, or if we draw a base, we can with red level. We do red level to install, gain a click. Base is 3, so it's 4. Then we install this, and then we 5, 6, 7. So we're 2 credits short. But now they're going to lock R&D. Our runner has Garfield into it. All right. I guess we just fast advance at everything. All right, if we res our drafter here, it's really bad for us. We just 1 in 3 here. They hit the Vacheron. That's fine. We don't want that. You don't add that to Film Critic, right? Because then this game will go on for so long. They add it here. It doesn't give them more agenda points, right? So this doesn't care. Yeah, scored agenda points. I don't think Iain cares about Vacheron. Iain loves Vacheron. All right, it's a 50-50 here. If we res, though, we don't have the chance to score up a Begalter. So if we lose this, we're in a really bad spot. Luckily, they hit the RLC. What's the interaction between Vacheron and Iain? If it's scored but has counters, would affect their ability. So this is not worth agenda points, so I don't think Iain cares about it. It's my guess. I don't think I said hi to Suto. They threw out a hostage. Okay. So, hey, we have a hedge fund. So we can draw to break R&D lock. Enigma on HQ seems fine. But we'll hedge fund first for obvious reasons. And then we'll gain a credit. This looks a bit suspicious, like we have something in there. But I don't know what multi-axes they have besides Turning Wheel. And now they need to find their Amina. I'm assuming they're on Amina. They have the money for Amina. We can't res this into Amina. They're also not running R&D. So we draw a Biotic, we draw a base, we win. Unless they're on Black File. It's a Mockler. It's a Barrier Breaker. Traffic Jam, true. Traffic Jam is a thing. But Traffic Jam won't matter. Because this is the first Mega Pre. Ooh, Guru. And Power Tap, okay. So they still can't get through the server. I think we can just draw install IPO. I don't think we actually, yeah, IPO money is nice and flexible. Gain and credit. So if they don't get here, we win. If they steal this, they would have to Film Critic this. Just put Mega Pre into the remote? Yeah, I think so. It's falsified credentials. Let's see what they call here. The guest agenda. It is. It's a mega pre-qualifier. They have 30 credits. They need to get through a gatekeeper of 6 strength, and they already have a boomerang on the table. So they need to get their decoder now. 20 cards left in their stack. We haven't seen a lot of criminals aren't running special order anymore. I think Amakua gets you so far, let alone boomerang. Diversion of funds. Ooh, that's huge. That's good game. The diversion here is not very good, right? Okay, that worked. Good game. All right, stream snipe confirmed? No, I don't think so at all. I think you call agenda there. Hey, cheers, you too. I play special order in every criminal and several anarchs. Yeah, I can see an anarch a bit more, especially accurate with the falsified. Well, I think you call agenda there because I don't know if they need the money. Sure, it's hard there, right? Like if there's an agenda to 3-1 or 3-2, and it easily could be mega pre's, they don't know we're on it or anything else, we lose. So calling there for the money is kind of to see whether or not they need what they need to win or lose. They were hoping that would go through. We'd have less money to be able to res both there. See you around. So I don't know. I don't get the diversion. That diversion was the hope that we wouldn't have enough money to res Fairchild or something. Now, the best thing they could have done is just, I don't know if they realized that we'd be able to jam and we had a code gate here. They also had to hope there was no code gate here. I don't know. I feel like they just needed a program. One more program would have done it. So like, how soon could we have fast advanced out of here? Literally next turn. If they got it, we would have still won. Oh no, because we drew an Eli. Wait. But no, we could clicklessly draw with red level clearance if we're like we wouldn't have done that. We would have left red level clearance for a Kali testing or a base. But we would have pulled out of that for sure. Okay, that was weird. Steven says, I know, it's just messing because of the upgrade. That upgrade call was wild. I would never have called upgrade there. That was a really good call. Now the NGO front was actually good because we needed money, but I think the only reason why we needed money is because we ended up spending like what, 14 to fast advance at 5-3. If you go Jintegi next, can we do lockdown plus Saraswati? I don't have a list, just an idea that Saraswati can lock down 5-3s efficiently. Oh, you're right. Saraswati is really good with lockdowns. Yeah, okay, we can try that. That seems cool. Also, Athenas, we never did the what's it called? The Valley Grid biotech deck. I think that's fun too. I don't think we're specifically asked not a damage deck. I don't know if that's considered a damage deck. I do really love red level clearance, one of my favorite downfall cards. I don't play enough red level clearance, and it's like so absurdly strong as like a flexible card, but also like in Titan Transnational. I think that's obviously the place I played most of it. It just lets you fast advance so many other things. Like we've been fast advancing 5-3s from hand with red level clearances in Titan. Valley Grid could also go into Ag Infusion since the boop can be strong with it. Oh, that's true. Are you drinking moonshine in that jar? No, it's just water out of a pickle jar. I've actually had a kind of a sore throat the last couple days, and this is probably not going to help. I guess they already seen a Kali testing. Maybe they prompted an upgraded Kali. Yeah, but then if they see one upgraded Kali, like the chance of it being another Kali is pretty low. The chance of being a Rashida is pretty high. A base is pretty high. Even like an agenda or an NGO. I just feel like upgrade is probably the worst call there after you see a single Kali testing. I don't know. Maybe it's a Jinja. That doesn't make that much sense, but I guess they haven't seen enough of the ice. Like, it's not crazy. I just don't think I would have done it. I played an Egg Infusion earlier today. Malia was MVP. Blank delivered it. My friend struggled so much for several turns over. Yo, Malia and Egg Infusion is wild. But Malia as a card is like so cool as that 46th card or 50th card, I guess, because we're Corp, right? Malia played well is devastating. Malia is so devastating when it's played well. You're totally right. Man, I think the best feeling is when you Malia after I'm pretty sure this has happened when someone has played like, you know, that tag me 419 or just like rogue trading deck, and like they take a tag with rogue trading and they're going to clear with Citadel Sanctuary, and right before end of turn you res Malia to blank Citadel Sanctuary. Oh, it's the nicest. It's only 14 games right now. We might take a bit. I think that's going to be a really big thing when it comes to new cards and a rotation is Fast Advance. Because right now there's only one meaningful card that interacts with Fast Advance, which is Clot, and that one's going to rotate. And I don't think, well, if currents get rotated, like, not that it ever was a really big deal, but Traffic Jam isn't going to be a thing. So then, like, we've got nothing, right? I don't think there's anything else besides that one Shaper card that makes you forfeit a connection, which is like, that's not what you need. You want to be able to prevent Fast Advance on your turn, not the following turn. right? Like it's just nowhere near as strong for obvious reasons. Even if it was just an event that says the runner can't fast advance next turn, and there was no additional cost, it costs 0, it probably wouldn't be good enough. Populist Rally? Yeah. Opening hand, double base, we're against Val. Val 57 cards? Okay. Early Rototurret is not that mean a lot of times when they run with their stuff in the heap. Black Lives Matter and Turf suck. What's Turfs? Hey. Thanks, you too. What is Turfs? I don't know what Turfs is. The Source 2.0. Yeah, Source is a bit of a scary design, isn't it? But something like that. We're gonna mulligan here. You want money to prevent those accidents. That's true. And we do have the money. We have that Spiderweb too, which is nice. Again, a lot of times if they play restricted card, that's 7 to get 3 there. 6, I guess, with bad pub. 57, yeah. Trans exclusionary radical feminist. All right. Opening hand. So we have Biotic Labor, Hedge Fund, Spiderweb. We have Nano Etching Matrix. So this is probably one of those turns that we can get the 3 click install. So we don't want to score the first Mega Pre a lot of times, right? We want to make sure we definitely Hedge Fund. There's no way we don't. If we stole Nano Etching and hit it once, that gets a click to like click for a credit. We're weak to Wanton. We're not that weak to early Stargate. If they Stargate without an Econ card, they're in a bad spot, I reckon. I think Wanton's like the really bad thing here. We'll just get money to make sure we can't get mined on. Feminists don't care about biological women, don't believe that trans women are women. JK Rowling, that's what I was thinking. So yeah, I saw those tweets yesterday. Yeah, she's been saying some crazy shit. It didn't even make sense what she was saying. Gain click or credit? With the credit we can't do much besides draw, so we're gonna gain with the click we can't do much but draw, so we'll gain credit. Turfs have been in the news a lot past couple days because of a certain author going transphobic tirade. Yeah, I did see that. Those tweets were read to me. Maddie was reading them. She's like, what the fuck is JK Rowling up to? And I don't know if they were really comprehensible. All right, so talk about Econ, Peace in Our Time, into Sure Gamble, into Spoilers, into Daily Cast. So I think we probably just want to start scoring out to some extent. They only have 1 card in hand, so we're not pressured too much. And we have 17 credits, which is going to be really good for us to do whatever nonsense we need to do. This in a new remote is fine. Again, they need to find the breaker that gets through this. Paperclip won't do it. DDoS will. And I don't know what they do in a 57 card deck. But I think we can probably just score out Mega Pre-Qualifier. Once we score it, the next one's better. And I don't think we need to commit the Kali testing to it. No, but this will look like an Ash, right? Triple install, where's our Jeeves? I mean, screening does include Jank in it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this deck actually just has 3 Spiderwebs. We don't know what this Val's up to. They could have wanted, yeah, they could have wanted, but it had to be the 1 card in hand. So, like, what can we do? They just spent their whole turn drawing daily cast triggers, so that's fine for us. Now, if we score, oh wow, so we could like, do we calibration testing, and then keep the? I misinject. Where's the moshing? Like, do we score Mega Pre qualifier with calibration testing just so we can safely jam corporate sales team? I feel like we're not in a rush to score the Mega Pre, so I don't think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna get our 3 click turn. So we'll draw once, we'll Ice HQ, we'll advance this card, and gain a click, which we'll use for a credit. Yeah, I'm hoping Funjank too. Sam says I played against Val earlier today and was wild. Okay, cool, I'm excited. They have good money though. Probably not a Wanton unless they're on spoilers. This is also virtual, sometimes it just sneaks in for a Dore. All right, let's see what we lose here. We lost to Vacheron. That's like acceptable, right? So next turn we can fast advance this thing out. They still aren't showing any breakers. If they had a DDoS, this is a bit rough. We lose 2 really good things. Oh, Ma, shit. Get a click from the ability and click Nano. Oh yeah, we've been fucking that up we've been goofing that up a couple turns. Okay, Ma is really scary. It's going to hit our biotics from hand, so we're just going to try and use them as soon as we can to get value. But they did trash an MC Austerity instead for 2, so we don't get a Mothfire. Yeah, we should have been clicking this instead of clicking 2. You're totally right. Oh, we lost Enigma. I don't know whether that's better or worse for us. All right, so we definitely want to get us an R&D, but this is the problem with Nano Etching now. Like, if they don't trash this, they access us and hit with Ma. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad for us. I wish we could trash this ourselves. So we could do Biotic, Advance, Install, I feel like we want to get this on R&D because that's where the agendas are. We need us to win. I think we can do everything. We can have our cake and eat it too, right? The thing is, if we biotic, we lose the other biotic to Ma. All right. Nice. Okay, we'll do everything at the same time. That felt good. Felt like we made some cool decisions. Install advanced nano? Yeah. People often forget that part. Fast run is blank in archives? Yeah, it definitely is. Ooh, they called the MK Ultra down early. If we res this drafter, it's more expensive for us than them, but they have to spend 2 a pop. That's better than letting them come in over and over again. It's sad to see Inject dying for the sins of the Bin Breakers. It was such a well-designed card. I don't know. It's still a bit of a crazy card. Oh, we lost a Vitruvius? The spoilers fired twice and we lost 5? Oh, no. Oh, no. Spoilers, no. Obviously, this is... Why isn't this blank? Wait, why isn't this blank? Oh, it's blank in archives. I did not know that. Chat, you were trying to tell me this. Oh, that's disastrous. Oh, no. We're not going to win this one, are we? So it's either we install this or we lose it. No, we're going to put this on R&D. We're not going to get money. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. I didn't realize that was blank from archives. We still got the good money here. Chisel. It's a spider web. That's really weak to chisel. There's no way around it. Man, if this was a Hagen, we would have trashed the chisel. I know Hagen's weak to boomerang, but Hagen would have been so hot right here. We can't afford to res this. Where does our money go anyways? So what can they do? They can do run, 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 trash. Ugh. I want to inject a Morningstar Retrieval run in. Never got to do it. Ah, that's a bummer. You just play max 110, right? Max 112. It could be a magnet as well. Yeah, I don't think magnet's amazing in the meta. I think Enigma is better than magnet, but yeah, it could be a magnet. It's a bummer. I want to keep it installed here. Just so it's I don't know, they have to install another card before they can recur it. So we'll draw once. So we could do nano etching this, but then we can't install it again. Actually, no, I'm gonna save the credit. Yikers. I don't think I've ever had magnet fire in a meaningful way. Even when Parasite was around, I don't think it ever has happened. I wish there was more cards with trash protection, bypass protection abilities. I don't know. If there's too many of them like that, it just becomes terrible. Oh, they DDoSed. Wait, when did they have DDoS on the table? They just installed a DDoS. Okay. I don't know. If there's too many of them, en passant, okay. So they can do everything. Again, this nano etching is absolutely going to destroy us. Feels good. We're weak to Hacktivist, but we're going to lose this card anyways. No Ma run. Already the nano etching. Oh, we could have overrated the nano etching. You're actually totally right. Oh man, oh man, oh man. We've goofed it. We've goofed it so bad. We don't want too many. We need more choices. The drawbacks are done well. It's interesting with choice during the ice selection. I feel like there's enough stuff. Like Anansi is kind of the idea, right? Yeah, we should have overinstalled the nano etching. We were just complaining about it. Oh wow, okay, well, never mind. That worked out. Yeah, the thing is like guard is fine. Guard does one thing and one thing only. All right, so we have no recursion. We have 2 spider. We have 1 more Eli in the deck. We have gatekeepers, which actually seem pretty tight right now. But we're weak to DDoS en passant. Oh, we have to close prompt too, yeah. Anansi guard, there's technically a terrible region. That's largely it. Kakugo, yeah, Kakugo's fine. Guard would be thematically amazing, but also had former carries res text. Oh, that'd be gross. No further action. What are they accessing here? I don't think anything important. They just see 2 spider webs, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Okay. Well, I actually think we want to put this on HQ, so we're now weak to DDoS again. DDoS on Basan would be ruinous. Jarvis, how's it going? Welcome. Underway grid, we should play as a 419 tech. Even in the highest 419 meta, I think you're just way better off playing... oh, they have a paperclip now. Anything else. Literally anything else. And by anything else, I mean, like, I don't know. Psychic Field. All right, so we could score this out. How many more biotics do we have in the deck? Only 1. Okay. So I think we want to build a server with Gatekeeper in the future. So we'll draw again. So we want Gatekeeper into another piece of ice. Installing this in a newer mode is pretty rough because they can run and access it. So I think we're going to click for credit here. We don't want a hedge fund. We just want to have as many cards in hand when they have Maw. Oh boy. Run amok. All right, you just get an Axis. Their money fell apart too. They haven't played Econ for a while. So this is really expensive. They're just playing all the like cool destruction stuff. They gotta break this. Oh, excuse me, the chat wasn't scrolling. No further action. Maw if it hits the agenda, we lose. What? Wow. Wow. Okay. So both spoilers triggers. 3 points first, second point, 2 points second, and that was the 1 in 5. Woof. File a bug with Jane at RNG. I don't think your RNG's right. Yeah, man, they actually destroyed us. But that's the problem is like we have this rush ice and like they have a lot of good stuff to it, like Chisel, DDoS, en passant, run amok. All that stuff is gonna be really bad. They have like no economy. They have no reliable things. If they trashed any other card there, I think we're fine. Right? Like what do we do there? Actually, we're not even fine. I don't think we can fast events out of this corner. Seeing the drafter or on the R&D axis. Like what do we do here? The Rototurret again is not good as soon as they have a breaker. They break this for 2 cards with bad pub. None of the agendas are good and we biotic. Like I feel like we just want restore or preemptive or things to bring it back, right? To put the threat in the remote over and over again. Huh. Is Road Crew any good? Is Road Crew any good? The Work Crew or whatever it's called? Before you installed it helped since the only ice I had at the time in hand was MK Ultra. Yeah. I think everything on, I just drew the first code gate. I needed 2 ice remote to be safe, but their money was totally falling apart. Like that's kind of the issue when you play these wild things is that like you can't reliably do everything, especially with a 57 card deck, right? Like hard hitting news, all that sort of stuff. BWC is good with red level. Bioroid Work Crew, is that good with red level? It probably is, right? For limitation you mentioned earlier. Yeah, Bioroid Work Crew is probably fine. It's like probably better than Cali testing. Maybe not. But then we can have more influence, which seems good. Hey, cheers, see you around. Drudge work? I don't know if, no, not drudge work. With so many ways around ice, I've been liking alternate abilities besides subroutines on ice. You can trigger ID with it. On drudge work, we can trigger ID, yes. Counting the HG doesn't get any stronger. No, sorry. With so many abilities, I've been liking alternate. Hunting ground doesn't get stronger? Expensive though. Is it expensive? I thought Work Crew was only 2. Yeah, install 1 card, playing all costs, use the ability immediately after playing an operation. So if this stays in a remote, if you have like red level clearance, you can get the click backs, install an agenda, and then you can do triple advance. Like that's fine. Let alone you can install this. Oh no, then you can't res it. I don't think, can you install and res this and fire this with red level clearance? I don't know if you can. But Biotic Labor works. You can install a Bioroid Work Crew. We just haven't had the ice to like stick our, what's it called on the table yet. We also don't have a lot of ice, but we haven't had the window to stick an Austerity, and Austerity obviously is very strong. Does BOC allow you to install agendas? Yeah, totally. Install 1 card. Like that's really, really strong. In theory, also, Bioroid Work Crew does work really well with base Chiriboga. It also technically works really well with calibration testing. The idea is that you play Biotic and then you get a free base. So that's like double Biotic, as long as this is pre-installed on the table. Like you can do some really cool things with this card. Also, the trash cost to res cost is more in our favor than Cali testing, and it is not 3 influence apiece, which is big. Most abilities are when encountered, but guard's ability just says can't bypass. And once it gets around the when encountered. Yeah, we've seen more ice like that doesn't have when encountered abilities, but while encountering, which I think is more interesting. Yeah, this card seems cool. Is there any jank with work crew and fast assembly? What is fast assembly? Assembly line? Advanced assembly, you mean? Assembly line lets you can install agendas with this, so I don't think so. Basically, you could use Bioroid work crew to install this to clicklessly gain 2 credits, but probably not. Clones are not people? Oh, clones are not people also. Like, I don't know how good it is in this deck, but if you find yourself being able to score an agenda with clicks left, clones are not people is obviously very good because it's 1 less point to score, which is great. But like, I feel if we do clones are not people, one of the best cards you can do with clones are not people is almost always Jeeves, because most agendas that you score out, the last 3 clicks on your turn are advance, advance, advance. And then you have a click back for clones. So I feel like clones, you need Jeeves in your deck, or at least probably Jeeves is worth putting into the deck if it's not necessary. No way to use that with base. You just install an agenda with it. Well, sort of. Well, is there not a way to use it with base? Because maybe you want to use it with base because base gives you a MirrorMorph trigger. Yeah, probably not though. No, maybe you do, right? Like, check this out. Okay, this could be wrong. We got to math it out. So Bioroid work crew's on the table. So clicklessly, you install a card. So you install base. So now you can use base. And then what do you do? No, you have to play an operation. So you red level clearance clicklessly to install base. So now you still have 3 clicks. You play an operation. Then you use base. So you have 4 clicks. And then you install a card, so MirrorMorph fires and you can advance, and you also have base trigger. So I think, yeah, there's a reason to do base and Bioroid work crew. So much information. Yeah, there's a lot. It's like HP combo. There's just so many ways to get it done. But that's the bummer is like at the end of the day, just like where did I see that? All this gets worse when it comes to like just doing this, and like it's not as good as just doing the crazy combo stuff. Damien Fortune, how's it going? Hey guys, just coming back to the game after a couple years. I last played right before the release in Rain and Reverie. Is there an easy place to see what's legal now? Yeah, super easy actually. So firstly, welcome. Glad you can throw a message out. Sorry we didn't get to that sooner than we should have. But the easy way to find the standard pool that most people play in is if you go to nisei.net and you go to, I don't know, organized play. This should be, I don't know, I feel like it's not the easiest to get through sometimes, but if you're here at supported formats, this will tell you all the legal products in the standard format, which is by far, I can't say this, but it seems at least to me the most common card pool. If you want to play like regionals, which are canceled right now, but like nationals, most people play in this format. This tells you everything that's legal in the standard format and the most wanted list, which should be updated relatively soon, that has what cards are banned and restricted. The idea with restricted cards is if you play 1 restricted card in your deck, and that means not 1 copy of it, but as many copies of that 1 card, up to 3, because it's Netrunner rules, as you probably know, you can't play another restricted card. So it's all on nisei.net. It's technically /op/supported formats. That should be it. There are other formats like Snapshot and Eternal that obviously have a bigger card pool. Eternal has the whole card pool, if I'm not mistaken, minus some bans. So you can check all that stuff up. People play wild formats, but standard is largely this. So it's Sansen cycle all the way forward, plus some of the deluxes are gone, and the core set is Nisei's core set, plus Nisei stuff. Can you just red level work crew to clicklessly install agendas? No, I don't think you can, because you can't have red. I actually don't know how this works. We'd have to probably read the UFAQ or the actual FAQ. I don't think this needs to be rezzed. Actually, no, you probably can. I think you probably can. No, you probably can. Or does work crew need to be pre-res? I don't think it does. Install ping, use this ability immediately after playing operation. I think as long as you do that as your next action after you play an operation is legit. I think if someone reads this, they'd be able to figure it out. Bioroid work crew does not need to be res when the operation is played or resolved. So yeah, you can just red level clearance, install a Bioroid work crew, pop the Bioroid work crew, have 3 clicks left, install advance, advance, advance. Or sorry, just advance, advance, advance. You can score out a 3-2 or 3-1 from hand. I think this card's good. I don't think you can install in res work crew before red level. Yeah, you can't, but to do so, but you don't need to. This just needs to be fired after the operation is played. It doesn't have to be res. It's not like Jeeves. Janktivist says, Danby put together Near Earth Hub. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about this. Thanks, Janktivist. So this is NearEarthHub.net, which was put together by Dan B. Restore plus Bioroid work crew lets you do weird mirror morph things. Oh, that's true too. Let's see if this loads. So this website was put together recently, and it basically has a lot of compiled information on where to start if you're into Netrunner. So it's like a lot of learn to play videos, I think. A lot of the like just the format supported stuff and all those like rules. I think it says like always be running and NetRunnerDB. It also has a bunch of content creators, so like streams and videos and podcasts. There's a lot here. It's not loading right now, but I think that's the URL, right? nearethhub.net. Is that? No, okay, that's not good. Maybe we just hugged it to sleep, but yeah, okay. But there's technically a website. It's also really good for new players as a recommendation. This was put together either this week or last week, from my understanding. Do you ever get to hear your sidebar on Reboot? No, what's a sidebar on Reboot? It loads, but very slowly. Oh, damn. Okay, so we might have hugged it out. Okay. All right. Okay, so that is MirrorMorph. We definitely could spend some time refining him, but you can see what the deck does, and it can do some really cool things. And there's a lot of MirrorMorph tricks. I feel like our ice suite needs a bit of work. I don't like the Facecheck stuff. I feel like HB has Facecheck. Sorry, has not Facecheck, but like Gearcheck stuff that also has a Facecheck a thing. Oh, the Big Boys reboot format. Okay, yeah, I guess we can talk about that. What's the Big Boys website? Is it time to try building that lockdown Saraswati? Yeah, I think that's what's happening. So this was announced a couple weeks ago. This is the Big Boys Netrunner Reboot project. Basically, they came up with a way to take cards all the way up to, if I'm not mistaken, Honor and Profit, or right before that, and basically tune the numbers on those cards. Some of them have functional errata, but very few of them, to make these cards closer to the play level of what like you would expect from a Netrunner card. For those who haven't played Netrunner from the beginning, from the original core set, there were so many cards in the original core set that were incredibly strong and continue to be so forever, but maybe on equally, if not more, at least also in the first couple of cycles, there were so many cards that just weren't good enough and never found their way into any sort of competitive deck. Is that important? No. If you're playing at the kitchen table, who cares? Like, if you're having fun, that's fine. But I think the big boy really wants to take this set of cards that a lot of these also don't exist right now in standard format. They've been rotated out, and put them to a play level where all of the cards are interesting for deck builders that have an understanding of what it takes to be a good Netrunner card, whatever that means exactly. So they took a lot of cards and changed. A lot of them are just quick number changes. Very few are their functional changes. So Posted Bounty becomes a 3/1. Cards like Wall of Thorns, they lower the cost on it, and I think the strength is the same. Hadrian's is cheaper, and I think that's it. Heimdall is cheaper, and I think the strength actually went up a bit. Chaos Theory now has +2 MU. NBN has maximum hand size increased +2, and I don't know what else it changes. Exile draws 2 cards. There's basically a bunch of these like pretty, what they look like minor changes, but from what my understanding is, and I haven't played this format, are probably really, really big changes to how the cards work. There's so many more cards that are now more compelling. They explain it, and the big boy has a document over here that talks about all the changes in these cards. The big boy, JadeNet isn't supporting this format, but the big boy does have their separate instance of Jiteki.net that they're personally hosting that has all these cards in it. So if you're interested to play those online, that's probably the easiest way to get into that. I think to get access to that, you have to just message the big boy for their interest. This was posted on our Netrunner a couple weeks ago. This was posted on May 26th. This is what it looks like. And there's a lot of cool changes. Like the toolbox now costs 7, or like Feint now costs 0. Like, is that enough to make the cards good enough? Maybe. Executive War Taps now cost 2. That's huge, right? Like maybe now that card is actually playable in a deck. Or like Hemorrhage now costs 2 and Hard at Work costs 0. Like, that's crazy. Some cards did get nerfed. That's important to say. Things like now Wizard is now 12 influence. That's classically been a really strong identity. Or Fall Guy is now 3 influence instead of 1. And Kate has no link. Things like that I think are interesting. TWI7, the world is yours, 7 max HQ. Oh, it was 6 before? Interesting. Facecheck is painful, but for them to hit, maybe you don't need a breaker. So the difference between Cortex Lock and oh, sorry. Is there a Facecheck versus Gearcheck thing? Question? Make a stupid question. What's the difference between Gearcheck and Facecheck? I always thought they were the same. Sort of. We'll get back to that in a second in Narco. I think Jessica's done a good job explaining it. Anyways, this is a format. There's a lot of Netrunner formats. I think this one is definitely interesting, and I think it definitely makes a lot of cards a lot stronger. Personally, on my own interest, I don't have that much interest in playing this. I'd probably maybe want to try a game or two out, but you know, there's only so much time in the day. I think this is really cool. Whether this is balanced and makes a fun format too, I don't know. It's worth to be testing. I imagine at the end of the day, Account Siphon is still a really strong card at 2 credits to play it. I don't know. I think there's two ways to this. Like, this probably caters to a very specific demographic that wants to like enjoy the old days of Netrunner, where like you used to play Kate with prepaid and Omega. You didn't really play Omega, but like trying to get to that, to make that like trying to relive that. I understand why people want to do that. At the end of the day, whether or not you make Eureka a better card, or whether we just print new cards from Nisei or like other fan projects and stuff like that, like I feel like I'm more excited for new cards in the long run than this. But I could see this being pretty cool and maybe builds some life into some other decks, like makes other things happen. I haven't tried the format. I think it's interesting. I think for people that have like the original core sets at home and want to like make some of those cards more playable, and because they're struggling with that, this is a cool way to follow this. I've no doubt you could take these cards and just put them into the Nisei standard format, and probably a lot of them would still be fine. I don't know whether Account Siphon is a bit busted in this in the modern format. Same old thing, cost 1. It's not a really big change. Blackmail costs 2. Bad Pub, that's actually a really big deal. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I don't know much more about this. At the end of the day, again, like I don't know whether I'm personally that excited to go back and play some of the old cards as much as I'd rather see new stuff. I haven't even like played a lot of Eternal format or any of the other formats that happen, but I have no doubt people are excited about this. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Do you think Stargate is a bit too brutal though? No, I really don't think Stargate's too brutal at all. It's always worth for perspective, Dimmy, that we played back in the day when we played against Keyhole. So I think inherently Stargate is not going to feel too bad anyways. Stargate's a really strong ability. At the end of the day, R&D interface is also a really strong ability. There's ways to interact with this meaningfully. Crisium Grid, border control, I guess, always works, but it's also expensive. It's slow. You need ways to be able to close the game out. I feel like if you find yourself in situations where the runner gets down a Stargate and then you're locked out for the whole game, it's either a problem that you just drew really poorly, it's a problem with the deck, or it's a problem that you just didn't respect Stargate when you set up. That was kind of like one of the unfortunate truths back in the day with Account Siphon. Account Siphon was really strong and definitely too strong, and some decks would get absolutely hosed by it. But at the end of the day, if you didn't respect Account Siphon, you're going to have a miserable time, and then you were more likely to think Account Siphon is absolutely busted, even though it obviously is really busted. If you like respect it and play around it and kind of meta build around it to some extent, you get a better time. Steven, what's up? It's been a while. Stargate's boring? I don't even think so. I don't even think Stargate shows up in everything anymore, but it's definitely less boring than Turning Wheel if you ask me, but Turning Wheel has the ability to close a game off that is not closing fast enough, which I think is really cool. Thanos says compared to Keyhole, yeah, it's not that bad, but I think I'm more a fan of getting around R&D traps protection. Yeah, that's a really big thing about this card, is that you can trash cards. Like, it doesn't have to be agendas, and that makes this really, really strong. It also gives everyone information, though, which is valuable to the corp as well. Keyhole seems less good in a pool that has medium already. I wouldn't say so, just because they were different decks. The strength of Keyhole is that you could play it in an Eater package, and Keyhole had the ability to trash cards. A lot of the Keyhole decks back then were like max decks that ran like Data Leak Reversal, Account Siphon Spam, stuff like that. So being able to trash meat damage and or tagged punishment stuff was really important, more than medium. But you're right, medium did eclipse it eventually, just because medium was very, very good and Keyhole was expensive. I'm far too cautious with the Account Siphon. Apparently you're supposed to keep the tags. My partner said I'd win if I kept them, but I always remove. Yeah, a lot of times you can keep the tags. It's fine. Oh yeah, also, yeah, you're right. Stargate does dodge access upgrades, which is a really big deal. We were playing a Mwanza deck last week, and Stargate's a problem. Multi-access is the opposite of boring, says Kyle. Yeah, I kind of hear you. Steven, I always felt like R&D and multi-access are like things like Stargate and Keyhole shouldn't be permanent. I think it's better balanced when things are like makers and indexing. I don't know. I think one of the big trade-offs here is that Keyhole's expensive. Like, somebody could have played Keyhole click 1 and absolutely gone to town on you, and this happened. And you could have lost the game on turn 1 if you're really unlucky. The Index could have done that too. And a lot of times against Shaper, you would ice R&D turn 1, no questions, just because people could have indexed you out of nowhere. I like that Stargate doesn't do that modernly, and it's expensive to put down at least. I don't like that. I way rather like the design on cards like Hushik that are only playable in the mid to late game once you can actually get value out of them. I don't think cards like Indexing should be online on turn 1. And at least if Stargate's online or turn 1 or Keyhole's online in turn 1, it's not the worst thing. It gives you information, which is really important in the early game, and it's also really expensive. That's the way I see it. Like, I don't like Indexing turn 1. I think it's cheesy as hell. Essentially, what's up? I definitely remember with Fondness my Max Siphon Keyhole deck. That was actually the first deck that I played competitively, and my first playmat win was with a Max Keyhole deck. It was good fun. Keyhole made games take so long because of all the shuffles. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons the shuffles got out of hand. There's a question about Gearcheck versus Facecheck. So the idea is with Gearcheck ice, it's just ice that basically says, okay, this is going to end the run. Come back when you find your gear. Vanilla was played in a lot of decks, say like the old HB Moon decks, and it's not that they wanted to be taxing, but they wanted to have that early game window where they could jam stuff behind the vanilla and feel safe. But on top of that, you force the runner to go spend their clicks and credits to find that program or draw into that program, install it, and then even if they're only paying 1 credit to get through the vanilla, you buy some time and you force them to do these things. That's really important. A vanilla in HQ is not going to be taxing, but it means you can't get account siphoned in an early game, and that's really good. Some of the easiest like to understand Facecheck ice were like vanilla and quandary, and these were very popular ice because it basically said to the criminal, find your breaker. That'll buy me a turn or two, and that's really important. When I talk about Facecheck ice, Facechecking is the idea of running to an unresed ice and just seeing what it is, but Facecheck ice is ice that's actually punishing when the runner hits it. When you hit a quandary or vanilla, it's not punishing. There's no additional tax associated to it based off of the loss of click of running, but at the end of the day, you got information that's worse. So again, cards like Cortex Lock in the early game are a really big deal, where like this has a really strong Facecheck attached to it. Anansi is another version, but more expensive. This is more palatable in the early game, where you run into this, the worst case scenario is really bad. This doesn't end the run, but at the end of the day, it doesn't technically force a program. It doesn't force the gear check. Eventually, this becomes a gear check because you can't keep running through this over and over again. But there's a lot of ice with face checks. It's the difference between like Eli, which is kind of neither. You can always click through Eli if you really need to, even though that's not always good. So sometimes it's like a mix of these things. But it's definitely not a face check because end of the run is fine. You take no additional consequences, as opposed to Hagen. And Hagen's very interesting because not only is it a gear check, it says this is ending the run. Come back when you get a program, but it's also technically a face check because it has the chance of trashing Rizekis, Amakuas, Stargates, Keyholes, stuff like that. So that's the short of the long of it. A lot of decks want to run not all the decks want to run gear check ice. Generally things that are faster, things that want to go horizontal like that a bit better. And face check ice is good in a lot of decks that want to be scary. Sometimes you want to find something in the middle, something that's taxing. There's also this huge conversation between what do people call it, binary ice and taxing ice. I think that was a lot of times what it was called. The idea that at the end of the day, like Slot Machine, you don't need a program to get through this. But at the end of the day, if the runner goes through this, it's usually a 6 credit swing, so that's fine. Does that mean this ice is better on a remote or a central server? Largely a central server, because a central server runners have a chance of wanting to run there every turn, and it's not going to stop them to get out, but it's going to make it unapproachable. A lot of times when it comes to the remote server, you want to make sure that they can't get in when you need them to not to get in. So Slot Machine isn't amazing on a remote server. This is meant to be a taxing ice, where a binary ice is something like something that ends the run. Like again, Border Control is one of the best ice in the game because it's an ice that lives outside of its ice space, if that makes sense. Like Gold Farmer. Yeah, Gold Farmer is also in the middle though. Like Gold Farmer technically is in theory, you can always get through Gold Farmer. I just wrote your name. Like Gold Farmer is in some ways like Eli, but like 6 credits to get through Gold Farmer. I don't think I've seen anyone do that yet. Indexing was too good for sure. Makers is cool though. Turning Wheel should have always been based on successful runs. It would be totally balanced and interesting. I don't think so, Steven. Bioroid was so cool in the balance of gear check and face check. Yeah, Bioroid ice are by far the most interesting. The balance between gear check and face checks. We have a card of the week bot on our Montreal Netrunner Slack, and it'll just generate a card. And the other day, the card it generated, which actually got a fair bit of discussion, was Sherlock 2.0. Our card just could have one additional word on it. Alexander Boyd is saying things with more than just an ETR checks are so important to prevent turning wheel farming. That's also very important. When it comes to turning wheel, having something that doesn't just end the run on the outside of a central is really important. Turning wheel is very easy to negate, especially if you play Wayland. Why do you say that, Demi? Quandary was good for making them install the 5-cost Yogg. Exactly, Jessica, that's the point. Install your Yogg, find it, install it for 5 for Anarchs. That can be hard to find it. And then, sure, you're paying 0, but whatever, you paid 5, we win. CI Paperwall scoring an answer behind Quandary. Yeah, Paperwall was another really good example of that. Jessica says indexing is so strong for such a little cost. You don't lose anything really for indexing as you do with others. Yeah, indexing is nuts. So this is Sherlock. And Sherlock is really interesting because like on its own, it's expensive to break, but you can always click through some of it. I love 2.0 Bioroids because you can't click through all of it. So a lot of times it's either Trace 4, which bottom to the bottom of the stack is really rough, especially against some criminals. I guess Boomerang shuffles a bit. Against Anarchs, that's awful. It doesn't end the run, which is interesting, but getting a program on the bottom of the deck followed by an end of the run that requires a certain program, that's kind of cool. And then the tag matters. The main of the discussion why we're bringing this up is I feel like Bioroid Ice got a lot more interesting. A lot of this like mid-range Bioroid Ice sees no play. because HB struggles a lot with economy. A lot of their win conditions don't involve building 3 ice remotes unless they're Jinja, but Jinja can just get more value out of like surveyors and Satyr adaptive barriers and border controls. But the idea that I love about these Bioroids, and it's something I haven't totally revisited, is Bioroids seem to be so much better with cards like border control. Like you can't double click through Sherlock 2 with border control. You just can't. And I love that idea. I wish once HB got 1 or more pieces, or maybe it's worth something trying sometime in the near future, but just playing some of the more mid-range Bioroids. And there's so many of them that with weird punishments, like, shit, what are all the like 6-cost sentries that with like 4 strength, 2 subroutines? Ravana is a good card on its own. I think Ravana with Eli is just like fine, but some of the other ones are a bit weirder. But like just playing that with border control seems fine. Obviously you can play Ikawa Project, Mason Bellamy, stuff like that. Sherlock 2, Steven says, was always a card that I liked a lot, but it was always just a little not great enough to play. Yo, Steven, it's been a while. I meant to message you recently. Maddie and I are playing Resident Evil 2 last night. I was thinking of you. Vikram 6, that's the one. Yeah, I've never seen it played. I've seen it played. I have seen it played. But yeah, there's all these cards like this that are like weird. I'm a big fan of Z 2.0, but 7's a lot. I think the big question about this, and this actually is a card that showed up in a World's Winning deck list, not Vikram. Oh, the internet's still good, right? There's also the HB lockdown with mixed Bioroids disgusting paywalls without dipping into influence. That's true. The problem is you have to figure out an agenda suite of 4 2s and or 4 3s that makes sense in HB. The stream's still up, right? Is Netrunner DB just down? A lot of Bioroids are too expensive now because they were balanced with ETF money in mind. Yeah, basically save 1 credit on everything. Okay, I don't know what's going on with Netrunner DB. Is everything else okay? Is the internet still there? Energy was hiccuping for me just now. Okay, so it looks like the stream's fine at least. The other card I wanted to pull up was like to see the numbers on Ichi 2.0, because Ichi 2.0 actually did make it in one of, if I'm not mistaken, Dan D'Argenio's winning ETF deck lists. It is a world's full art if you have it. And that card looks terrible. It's a 2.0, you can click through it. It's just like a better Ichi. James, how's it going? Vikram for the win. Yeah, Vikram's cool. Vikram's like trace 4, right? Can't use a program and then brain damage, I think. Oh, the other way. Can't use programs for the maintenance run. Trace 4 brain damage, trace 4 brain damage. Mr. Krabs, what's up? I feel Bioroid Ice doesn't get the power creep ice that other factions got. It sort of didn't. Like, I would agree with you, it didn't until they printed Fairchild 3. They printed Fairchild 1 and everyone was like, whoa, cool. Oh, no, they didn't. That's not true. They were like, okay, cool. We got a pup or whatever. Then they printed Fairchild 2 and we're like, wow, that's a really good piece of ice. And then they printed Fairchild 3 and I remember absolutely seeing the spoilers and be like, what are they thinking? Fairchild 3 used to be a restricted card. That's how good Fairchild 3 was. And like that was the first 3.0 Bioroid we saw. Like we were like 1.0, 2.0 cool, and then like 3.0 what? Fairchild for what it's worth, I don't think is amazing, but like Fairchild 3.0 is absolutely buck wild as an ice. Like this is just so good. This is the only Bioroid that I think is like absurdly over the curve. Yo Pat, how you doing, bud? Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, man. I was just thinking FC 3.0 being restricted back in the day. Yeah, right? Isn't that wild? That was wild. This used to be a restricted card that like CI decks used to play. They printed F-Side 2 and nobody played it because of Yogg. Oh, that is true, right? Parallel, yep. After Yogg left, FC2 is nice though. FC2, for what it's worth, is still a really good card. It's weak to, I feel like every time I play it, I play against a Mina deck, but it's really good against anything else, right? Like it's like 3 credits and 1 subroutine fires for Black Orchestra, Shapers. Like it's still 3 subroutines, and they usually have to boost once. Yeah, Mina makes everything sad though. Can't wait for the thing. Yo, Mnemonic, how's it going? Yo, we gotta talk. Pat and I have been talking about it. We're thinking next week, and I'll email you tonight. Steven says, I remember all hype about the preview of DNA Tracker, then FC3 came out. Yeah, and the same pack and just blew it away. It's so much better. Yeah, you're totally true. This was like, wait, this ends the run. It costs 6? Like people used to be like, oh, give me a big old cocaine. I'll play my beautiful toll booth for 8. And then Fairchild 3 came out, and they were like, wait, this is 2 times toll booth plus end the run brain damage. So good. Obviously you can click through it, but whatever. Was it restricted at the same time Mati was legal? No, I don't think so. I do not believe so. I think HBIs would be in a great place with 1 more FC3 power level Bioroid, hopefully one of the weird killer ones. That's a weird thing though, like Alexander. It's like not so much that I just want 2 good ice in HP. I want enough good ice, and we're getting there. Like Gatekeeper, Hagen, those 2 ice have built, and that's the problem. Is like all the HB decks are like basically running those, and then they splash some other things. Eli is still good, mind you. Eli 1.0 specifically is the other Bioroid that's probably a bit over the curve, but is a really interesting card. I think it allows interesting choices, which I think is really great. Yeah, I think those are really cool. I think also having a 1.0 with 2 subroutines, while that's very strong, allows more interesting choices. That's what I don't like about some of the 2.0s with 2 subroutines, if those exist. It's just like, do you click it or not? 1.0 with 1 subroutine, do you click it or not? But I don't think 1.0s have 1 subroutine. Hit me up at the stream. Yeah, okay, it can do. Tier's good though. Tier's really good, but Tier's technically a Bioroid. Yeah, you're right, it is. I mean, it's a bit absurd. Yeah, I do love it though. Used to play Janus. Everyone misses Janus. Janus got a big buff in the big boys format too. I think. What did they do to Janus? Creation control. Janus is like way cheaper. Oh, Janus isn't in creation control. Where's Janus? Genesis? Yeah, Janus is now 12 credits. Cool. All right. What time are we at? We're at 2 o'clock. We're gonna do another hour. Let's go build that Saraswati deck, I guess. Does anyone have a Saraswati deck? We got to build it. I remember the first few weeks after FC2 came out, it was free wins on JNet. People just hitting it with 2 clicks remaining and getting destroyed. Yeah, it's one of those cards that, yeah, there's definitely like the learning curve to be like, oh, I probably shouldn't be running click 2. Which was fine. Like, you used to run click 2 so you can click through Ichi or whatever. Janus came in what lies ahead. Thanks, Pat. Hell of a good first expansion. Yeah, it was a good first expansion. The 3.2 started coming out. I like it, but it's too good for Crim Decoder. It's weird. Besides the credit loss thing, Amina has the numbers and value of a code gate from Shaper. Okay, I built an HP deck with 3x Janus and 3x Overseas. I have games with my partner. Oh, because they can't click through it, can they? It's a 4 sub? I have a Saraswati deck, but it's a Macrophage Cyberdeck Sandbox Sandstone meme deck. Oh, we played against a couple of those jocks. I think we wanted to build specifically something that plays the new, what's it called? Lockdown. We'll try it. I don't have a Saraswati list, just wanted to see a Lockdown played and had the idea that I hadn't fleshed out. Yeah, we'll try it. We'll give it a shot. I don't know if I've ever played Saraswati. Yeah, I probably have. Unless you literally drop to 0 credits and spend that click for 1 credit, you just need to click 1 sub on Eli. I did play. Yeah, I remember playing against it. I definitely do. All right, so we're taking requests today. We got 2 requests to play Jinteki, so we're going to play Saraswati Mnemonics. So basically click to install a card from HQ, putting an advancement token on it. So that's click compression. Instead of click advance, you pay the same cost, but you spend 1 click fewer. But the trade-off is you can't score a res cards until next turn. So why is that good? Because you can install advance a card, right? Yeah. You can do a triple advance, which is good with traps, but on top of that, you just get some click compression. Now, my big issue I've always had with Saraswati is there's this huge trade-off between playing Saraswati and playing something that gives you money, like Paulina, or an ability that ends around like Ag Infusion. So we'll figure it out. We'll definitely figure it out, I guess. The idea here is it's really cool, right? Because if we say we do play Obokata Protocols, if we do install advance, we don't have any turn left. But if we do Saraswati install advance, then we can still play the lockdown. We can actually play 2 lockdowns. We can play Gordon. That never works because it's not what it's called. We can play Corden, which would mean to steal that agenda if they don't have Film Critic. God, hope. So they have to pay 4, 5, 6, 8 credits and 4 net damage, which seems like a lot. We could actually build a punitive deck around that to some extent. I hope they don't have Film Critic. Or we could play the other one, which I have no idea what it's called. What's the Jinteki one called? Jumon. Jason's also chanting Jumon. It's never Jumon, is it? The last time I played Saraswati, Excalibur is legal. Ooh, it's been a while. Precog Manifold. Yeah, that's it, Crew. Hyobu Precog Manifold. And this one, not only do they have to get through hopefully our ice, but they have to play a side game. I don't honestly know if this one's better than the other one. The other one's weak to Film Critic. Also, they just have the money. Like, it's still good, but it doesn't do it. But this one just means that they can't get into the server, which might be good enough. It honestly might be good enough, so we'll see. Pink says I'd like to see a Shaper version of Amina turn up, maybe gain a credit if you break all subs at once. Yo, man, more people have to play Inversificator. That card's also nutty. Anywho, so we could try maybe 2 and 2. I don't know which one's better. I'm not a big fan of Hyobu. A lot of times, like, just psychologically, people don't interact with Hyobu. They just be like, whatever. I feel like the answer is always the HB lockdown TBH. What's the HB one called? Next activation command? Non-icebreakers can't break subroutines, so that's way better in HB because they can't click through Bioroids. Each ice has +2 strength. This is 3 influence. This can't be worth it. Wow, cool Scaredin. What's up? Get dirty. Hyobu Precog and a Kayambe deck. Oh, that is dirty, isn't it? Oh, man. The other question is, like, do we just play La Costa? Lacosta actually seems pretty fine too, because Lacosta means that our 5/3s, even like Saraswati's really good with jamming other things that take advancement tokens like Biovault. So I honestly don't know if Lacosta is better. Argus Crackdown also solid if you're playing Kakugogi. Argus Crackdown I think is underplayed. I want to play like a PE Argus deck. That sort of thing. Stops Boomerang and costs more than NAPD. Yeah, it does stop Boomerang. Costs more than NAPD. That can be a good thing. Okay, so it's either Lacosta, whatever, we'll build the rest of the deck first. So we're not playing like a really heavy trap deck. We want to get value from the cards that we install in advance. So what cards can we get value from installing and advancing? There's always reversed accounts. That's a card you can play. It's okay. The big thing is here, if they run this, we can't pop it. So while you want to play NGO in this deck, it's kind of awkward a lot of times with Saraswati and Mnemonic's ability, but it's pretty good with Lacosta, I imagine. Well, usually more than NAPD anyways, not weak to Film Critic, yeah. Beekeeper, so the apiary card is just like kind of nonsense. I don't think we want to remove advancements for 3 credits. This is just not, I don't know, the numbers on this card need to be way better to be good. Why would we want to take advancements off of our cards, you know? Kakurenbo, reverse accounts. Gene Splicer. Gene Splicer is fine. If we want to run like only 3-pointers, we can run Gene Splicer as our final point, and then we could be a full punitive deck. That honestly sounds okay. I wonder if we get more ability from Saraswati than anything else. You can't pop reverse if they run it. Yeah, exactly, because it's a click, let alone Saraswati, yeah. False flag. Oh, man. Yeah, anything that says when the runner accesses it, that's an ambush, they can access it face down. You don't have to res it for this text to be on, which is great. But the thing is, like, using tags is so difficult for us. Kind of want to play false flag, though. Score Jumon, so the bee lady is good. When the return ends, place 2 advancement cards on a card installed in a server. This is so good with NAPD Cordon. We just play this with NAPD Cordon, right? We just Jumon, we install advance, Lacosta, advance. Yeah, we're doing it. We're playing Jumon. False flag probably is going to make it. We're playing Lacosta Jumon. 6-2. That's terrible. Let's go. So we can't be straight on punitive because Jumon isn't particularly that compelling with punitive. We need tag punishment. A lot of times you don't actually. Like a lot of times you can just trash resources and false flag is good enough. Back channels tends to be better than bees. Yeah, I think so. And bees is, again, anytime you put a remote server up and you don't ice it, you're in a really bad spot. What's our other agenda here? Probably SSL. Is there anything else that's like particularly good? Wow, it's too many agendas. Do we DRM a Jumon? No, because DRM doesn't let us Saraswati. Do we have to install something with digital rights management? No, but then we might as well fast track. Yeah, it was most likely JK call. Yeah, I forget. What did I start? No, we'll try Jumon. So now that we're on Media Blitz Jumon. I see it going in another direction though. Wait, 4-2s are comfy in Saraswati. You can fast advance, install advanced IPO. Yeah, you're totally right. Don't get me wrong. I do love Jankmon, but wanted to lockdown as a star. But hear me out. I think the lockdown is the star. Keep writing Gordon. Because NAPD Gordon says that they have to pay 4 credits extra. And if we have Jumon scored, okay, so here we have Media Blitz. If we have Jumon scored, that means we put 2, we'll get the false flag out of there. We can put 2 counters on something at the beginning of the turn, which means the Gordon is really good. With Lacosta, we can also score a Jumon in theory, right? Like we Saraswati in, we do advance, current, and then we do Lacosta, advance. Like we can do it. We need NGO with Jumon, becomes click for 8 credits. Oh man, yeah, you're right, that's really good. IP block. I think we might need a fast black. Oh, not IP block. I was trying to put IPO. IP block's probably fine though. I just did it again. I had fun. Mujinoba gotta get money back with Beekeeper. Leave it on the table because they'll never check anything with remove tokens. I think you would. I feel like the keyword in the sentence was if. Which if? If the Jumon scored, it's a big if? No. With Media Blitz, it's not a big if. And at the end of the day, it's fine if we don't score the Jumon, right? That's fine. Do we need a Trapper Tooth just in case? We could. We definitely could. So this, if they score the Jumon, we just get the Media Blitz ability. That's worth it. NGO does not work with ID? Yeah, it doesn't, but it works with Jumon at least. And we can just not use the ID if we need to. We want Biovaults, seems good. What else do we need? We probably want a preemptive, because we're playing Lacostas and Biovaults and stuff. All right, we need some ice. I feel like we don't have enough money. Rashida is just a good card, ain't it? I feel like we need other things to advance and ways to use influence. Only 2 blitzes could do with a way to get one back, yeah? Oh, we could. We have preemptives, but I don't know. Sometimes it won't ever matter. Cerebral, I feel like Cerebral doesn't matter too much. It's actually kind of good with Obokata Protocol, but I feel like a lot of times if we get that many advanced encounters, we'll just kill them with the other one. Dharma Junebug. Swap a card, but you swap the card, it doesn't get the counters, right? So what does a Junebug matter? Oh, if you swap out the card installed in a server. Oh. I can combine the issues with Jumon with the issues of Media Blitz and have a very good 2/3 deck instead of 1/2. Advanceable Ice? I don't think we want Advanceable Ice. Would Jumon say Ice? No, it's in a server, so you can't do Advanceable Ice. Or you probably shouldn't, I mean. Alright, what else are we getting? We'll see how bad this Jumon thing is. People like Jumon, I like Jumon. Alright, so we are running Kakugo. We still have a pretty good punitive Counter-Strike deck if we're playing Gordon. I think we can play some punies. Maybe do 2 in an Archive Memories. That's probably better than 3. We need a lot of ice in this deck still. What's good ice? I do like, what's the new one? Engram Flush is pretty good. We definitely need some bigger stuff. Kakugo probably wants some AI hate. IP block is probably good enough. We could also run Swordsman if we wanted to. Aket's not particularly good. I'd rather always run I think the other one over Aket, the HQ one. Afshar. 1x Kakarembo feels good with the Biovault and Geo. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, Kakarembo is really good. You can use Rokoko with that Mumbai Construction Co card with the Jumon as well if you want more jank. The thing with Mumbai Construction Company card is the card that you're moving tokens to has to be face up. You can play a Mushin no Shin. Yo, Max, what's up? Cerebral Overrated. Yeah, you're totally good. I'm not a big fan of Mushin no Shin as a card, and I feel like we just want to build a taxing remote with Biovault as opposed to be like, do you have a falsified or do you call our bluff correctly? Like, I feel like we're better at making a taxing remote than actually anything else. I don't know if we need reversed yet. We're running a lead on slots. I want to get the ice up first and then maybe get some more money into the deck. So what else can we play? What's like good ice? Rokoko doesn't do anything. You can't advance Rokoko. Oh, you can. That's interesting. Oh, we don't have the influence though. Okay, what else is just good ice for this faction? There must be a lot. We'll play a single DNA. Fairchild 3. We don't have the influence for it. Thomas, how's it going though? Oh, we have agendas open. That'll make it easier. Okay, what's good? I feel like a single crick is okay. We have a lot of installables. No, we don't. We have some installables. We need to protect the remotes pretty securely. Cortex Lock is probably fine. Envelope's good. Aiki's very cheap. Yeah, Aiki's cheap, but Engram Flush does a similar thing. I feel like we definitely want a single Thimble Rig at least to start. That's good. Yeah, Pulse's Thimble Rig. Cortex is probably fine. It's a cheap early game thing that can be good. We definitely don't have enough ice. We're gonna have to cut some of our 16 operations, but that can't possibly be a surprise. Maybe that was bad. What else can we play? What's good? What's good ice? What ice is good? I like Envelope a fair bit. How good is Envelope? We already have a fair few barriers. We can always change an IP block into a Swordsman. Do 1 damage to end the run. So you break this for 1, 2, 3 credits with Corroder. It's 3 credits with everything. It's not the worst. It's illegal to run Thimble Rig without Rover algorithm. If we do that, we need to run a bigger remote. But we can't do the tags too well. Wow, how are we struggling with like mid-range sentries or mid-range ice? There must be a lot of good stuff. We can play a single Sadaka. Let's just deal with Film Critic. Whatever. It's good enough. We'll play a Swordsman and drop an IP block, I guess. We now have 2 influence, which feels like enough influence to splash in a cool piece of ice. I feel like we need more good end to run code gates. Do you want a trap of any sort, like Psychic Field to punish expose, or anything that makes it easier to bluff out Jumon? I don't know if we need to. I feel like slots are too hard. Like, we definitely could run traps. Like, we could run easily a single, what's it called, Junebug. I think we should have a couple of traps, or some from chat will jump in and know they don't have anything to fear. True, but idea is that we build a scary enough remote. Like, the idea is with NAPD Cordon, it's hard enough. I just feel like we need to get more ice. What's a good ice look like? What's ice look like in deck? Please show me ice. That's a lot of brain damage. Saraswati? Okay. Why'd it have to be Sadaka? DNA Checker, Thimblerig, IK, Cork, like Border Control, Eli. Okay, that's good. Border Control, for what it's worth, seems really good in this deck. This is actually probably pretty close to what we were doing, but a worse version. They're running Valley Grid, though, which is really interesting. Celebrity Gift is probably good. Not with Puna, I don't know. Enigma Philip, yeah, Enigma's fine. Odoroshi, Odoroshi's neat, but we don't have any traps, so the Odoroshi's really bad. Second Field Project is a single, plus you can put it out with advancement on it. Yeah, that's true. For against 419, this is a lot better. Why'd it have to be said Ionic Feud has too big to fail in it? Very interesting. Does it actually? That's wild. Slow Bakata, that's exactly what we want. So IP Black Kakugo, Engram Flesh, Thimblerig, Toll Booth, and Nancy Surveyor. Maybe we can put a single Surveyor in. I feel like we're just weak on Kogates. Like, we probably just want an Enigma in there. Okay, we have too many agenda points. By one too many. I made it worse. Why did I think that would be better? Theory, the 2-pointers are really bad with Punitive, and we're gonna regret that immediately. Okay, so we have 51 cards. We definitely don't want that. In terms of ice, we have 4, 8. Single Survey doesn't seem amazing. I know what we do. We do slot machines. Slot machine's good. And then we can play the Swordsman back. Do you want 3 Obokata instead of 3 SSL? Yeah, I definitely hit that the wrong way. This is way better. With Punitive, at least. Alright, so money's not is an issue. So opening hand, this is our hand. We would have to probably keep that, unfortunately. Engram Flush HQ, Anansi R&D credit. Next turn, hopefully double credit IPO. From here, we can do a Hedge Fund, Cortex Lock, set up La Costa. We need an end the run, but we can probably just actually score out here. One Reverse seems really good. One Reverse doesn't seem terrible. I think you're right about that. Oh man, so much of our deck is just scoring at June. Draw testing at 52. Yeah, I like draw testing at bigger. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with draw testing at 52. All right, opening hand, garbage. Opening hand, not great. Here we can put, I don't know, Thimblerig on HQ, Swordsman on R&D, and we'll build a Kakugo remote. All right, we can do credit. We probably have to click for credits here. Like, we just need more money in the deck. And then we can get La Costa going with the Biovault. We can install the Biovault with an advancement token on it. It's probably fine. I just don't think we had enough money to res anything. The NGO front is definitely going to help out a fair bit. From there, Biovault is not unique. We can get a second one going. Media Blitz. We really need to get the Jumon on the table. Yeah, we got to score the Jumon. I think we need a fast track or something. But if we do fast track, okay, if we do fast track, what can we do? If we do fast track, we can do install with La Costa Advance, and then with La Costa Advance next turn. So we can actually get a Jumon scored. I don't get the La Costas really. We have Jumon. No, but we need both of them, because La Costa is the only easy way to score out Jumon with NAPD Corden. At least that's the way that we see it. Oh man, we just need a blitz for a Jumon. 1x reversed. The problem with reversed is that, like, if we get the Jumon value on the reversed accounts, we can't trigger it. It's when your turn ends. So we're better off with anything that's an advanceable trap that can get tokens on it. Man, Biovaults do seem really good with Jumon. Gotta cut something. Cut the preemptive play Kakurenbo. We gotta cut 2 cards, chat. Ice, we're on 15, which isn't a lot. Mushin is really the best way to score an early Jumon. Yeah, it is, but I don't like it. I really don't like it. Is NAPD Corden worse than the other one? We're just not consistently drawing enough ice. These code gates look like trash. Seems a bit better. Cut an NAPD? I don't know. NAPD is kind of like what we're building our deck around. I'd rather cut a Kakurenbo. I'd actually rather cut a Junebug. That's an opening hand we'd keep. Thimblerig, Hedge Fund. From here, draw. Oh, Hedge Fund IPO, I guess. Draw, we get this in a remote with a Nazi in front of it. Draw, this is awkward. Draw, this is really awkward. You don't really want it early? I think we do. I think we do. Oh, you're right, we kind of don't. I don't know. Cut a Rashida? Oh man, Rashida's so good. I don't want to cut money from the deck. I think we cut the Junebug, unfortunately. Like, we can't do much with the Junebug. I think we do cut a Rashida and Junebug. I feel like we just play this and see how bad this is and go from there. Okay, this opening hand is terrible, but we love it. This deck needs Mushin. I don't like Mushining cards. Especially when in Bio Vaults, it's like not good. Okay, so this HQ, R&D, credit, next turn, hopefully double credit. Oh, we could do draw hedge fund IPO now. From here, we just need an ice, which is a problem, is that we don't have that much ice. Draw, no ice, draw ice. That's not good on the remote. So ice on the remote that we want. A P-block, Kakago, DNA tracker. So what's good on the remote? Engram Flush, Thimble Rig. I feel like we have too much ice that's good on R&D and not enough good remote ice. Well, it doesn't, but Mushin's great and would help. Okay, we need to cut, yeah, Mushin in early game is okay, but then we have to play 3 Mushins to ensure that we have it on the early game, which is not ideal. We need another ice that's better on the remote than on central. Rashida cut seems never good. This deck has no draw, not enough money. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm not excited about the Rashida cut, but like, what else do we cut? I think we have to end up cutting up the Kakarenbo. And then we have to put another Rashida back in. That's not good. That's good enough. Like, check this out. You do, oh no, you need a Lacosta to do install, advance. And then next turn you can score out. Oh man. Cut 1 IPO. I feel like we need all the money we can, Alex, just because we're on a punitive Counter-Strike list. And we don't have good money anyways. Like, that might be just a foolish attempt. I'm down to try this. I just feel like we don't get enough value with Jumon and Media Blitz. We'll try this. I feel like we need more ice that's good for the remote, right? Engram Flushes aren't particularly good for the remote. Slot machines. So cards are good in centrals. IP block, Engram Flush, Slot Machine, Cortex Lock, Swordsman. So I think we need more remote ice. So I think we're going to cut cut the punitive. It might be need that Kakarenbo, you think? It's our only recursion. I don't see punitive working so well. I don't either, for what it's worth. We'll try that. We'll try this. I don't think this is going to be amazing. Spend Slot Machine influence on remote ice. Slot Machine, though, for what it's worth, is sometimes an econ card, which can be good. But yeah, we definitely could cut that. I feel like, okay, so like on one side we're doing the weird wild trappy thing, which would be better with Mushin. On the other side we're trying to build like proper Glacier with Lacosta and Bio Vault. And I don't think we do either competitively well. Cerebral instead of punitives. The thing is, like, we get no value if they don't run Cerebral. If they don't run Cerebral and we Jumon it, like, what do? Keep Jumoning it? We get no value from that either. Like, honestly, if we get Jumon scored, instead of punitive, I'd rather play, no joke, I'd rather play False Flag. Because we can actually value score out a False Flag. Oh, man. Okay, if that doesn't work, back channels? Yeah, but back channels, it's just like we're spending so much time and money on an econ card where we could just, like, splash Too Big to Fail or play even, what's it called? Celebrity Gift. I feel like we might be actually fine with False Flag. We'll see how bad the punitive goes, and then we'll put False Flag in there. False Flag is also really good because it's not garbage against a punitive, against a film critic. Yeah, Kakarenbo is really cute with Bio Vault. I just don't know if we can spend our whole turn getting a Bio Vault back if that's good enough. Also, you can you can Kakarenbo a False Flag. Pretty good. That's actually surprisingly okay, isn't it? 419, ah, damn it. Okay, we're playing against some tier 1 stuff. We're gonna keep this hand just because it has money. You can False Flag a 419. Here's a fun place. Yeah, largely, it might be. Not a lot of fun you can have. So we're gonna just ice up HQ with our Dinky Ice. This looks like anything scarier than that, so then we'll just IPO from here. Underrated good at seeing better now? A bit. If you end up on False Flag, I'd say go to 3 Jumon. I think we are on 3 Jumon crabs. Turning wheel? We also don't have snares or anything, so they can run all they want. There's no way they goof this. Class act, good stuff. They're only on 3 credits though. We have to respect Boomerang Inside Job. They're gonna have enough cards next turn to steal the Obakata. All right, draw. That's good. They have Link, but eventually they'll have an Amakua. We can only hope. Bankroll, find the truth. Ooh, Dirty Laundry Archives. They know what's on top of the deck. Okay, at least this is an interesting list. This has a lot of aggression. Getting one of our, central server ice that we complain of having too many and getting them on archive seems good. Draw 2 cards. Reveal. Now we know everything in their hands. So they have Amakua and a gamble. So we want an ice for archives stat, and we have a perfect ice for archives. Oh, we have the Jumon. So we want to make sure that they can't get runs here. I'm not going to prevent this. They know exactly what this is. The issue with Amakua is it gets through the Thimble Rig relatively easily. I don't think we need another credit, so we're going to draw here, which is obviously stupid. We should have the other version. Jumon Kindness, CR 14 place in Soccer 7. Sanjay's Jumon list with the band ID. I'll check that up. Find the Truth just drew into diversions. The Amakua is down, so Amakua gets through here. I think we're going to just have to hold on and build eventually the Kakugo for their mode. But Kakugo, Amakua, not a good combo. We'll draw once here. Ooh, Cortex Lock. Not better than the Engram Flush. We also know everything they're drawing, so if we pay attention with the Find the Truth, the Engram Flush is really strong. And next turn we're going to try and jam out with these two. I'm assuming that if either of these fire, they'll be able to not score the Obokata. So they drew a diversion, so they have 2 diversion in hands. Boomerang, let's see where they put it. On the Engram Flush. Ah, beans. At least they can't steal Obokata. Well, we'll call event here. We know there's 2... Now, if they break this Thimble Rig, we can put the IP block onto HQ. So worst hit here is the Jumon. Swap Thimble Rig? I don't think we will. I feel the Jumon on R&D is worse. So please no Jumon. They hit Bankroll. That's fine. Obokata. Okay, they can't steal that. They're going to get a lot of money back, though. They get, what, 7? 8? All right. They drew Corporate Grant. We know how this is. So they're going to try and divert us. I feel like we have to do this. We're so lucky we drew all our economy because this is going to be miserable. Do 2x Grant? Yep, their hand's good. They know there's an Obokata in there as well. And they can get through the Kakugo. Citadel Sanctuary. Corporate Grant. Alright, Corroder. Well, yeah, I don't think we have a game anymore. We're spending too much money making sure its centrals are tight. They also knew that we drew into the Bio Vault. That Maku is at least going to be annoying. Oh, Punitive is interesting. I haven't paid enough attention to their hand, but I imagine we're going to get diverted twice here. Try scoring the Jumon? How? I don't have any good ideas. We might be able, honestly, we might be able to score the Obokata. Because they have diversions in hand. If they steal the Obokata, we're fine. And if false flag, I might say go to 3. Oh, see, I read that. Just put the Obo on the table? Yeah, Saraswati advanced to 3, I think so. Yeah, I think we're going to go for the Jumon. They think this is the Obo, right? And I think they're okay with us scoring an Obo here. Now the diversions are going to come through, which is going to be a bummer. Because we won't have the money to finish out the Obo. They heard an Obo. This looks like an Obo. And I think with the Obo, they don't want to trash their whole hand. They're on Pad Tap, Citadel Sanctuary, 2 diversions in hand. Yeah, if this works, right? The skeleton? Oh my god. The Punitive's not going to do much on a 2-pointer. No matter what happens, this is making me happy. Yeah, me too. Citadel? Okay, so Punitive is not going to be a good thing. No. The Obokata could have hit all the diversions. Such a bummer. I feel so bad. So next turn we basically want to either jam the La Costa and or the NGO front. Their money has dried up. So unless they hit a rogue trading, they're in a bad spot. They just basically need the diversions to go off. And they can't feel bad killing 419. Infusion, what's up? Yeah, I don't know. It's a bummer. And this is just gonna keep us down. Heavens like forbid once they get the Amina down. Do the same with the oboe. Well, at that point we're really weak to doof. Deuce's wild gamble. I feel like we got a second punitive and our archive memories in hand, we might be okay. Envelope. Oh, that's a bit better. We can let the Amako get bigger. So we're gonna get falsified here for sure. So I don't know whether we res both of them. I don't think we can afford to. They drew a bravado. Yeah, I don't think we have a game here. Playing bravado. This core deck locks does 1 damage. Do we res that for 2? Yeah, they have 2 diversions at hand. Seems okay. We hit a deuces. Okay. Yeah, this game doesn't count. Why not Saraswati the NGO? Because then we can't res it, Fad. Then we will lose a value if they run it. We don't want to Saraswati it. It looks like they're scared of this size that we put here, and we're technically, if they know this is an NGO front, are threatening the non-C res or something large here. Bankroll gets a credit. Bravado gets another like 8 credits. Man, this actually could have been Obacata La Costa. Turning wheel. Oh, the turning wheel's on 3 too. I forgot about that. They also know we have an Obacata in hand unless it's on the table. And they still have 2 diversions in hand. They ran with a bandit. Sadly, they just not gone badly for them. Yeah, they really have. Man, if that was a Kamainu, I guess they could break with Amkwa. They just drew a boomerang, so they're probably going to boomerang here and run. All right, they're going through here. If we res the Kakago, I don't think we have any more edge ones or IPOs anyway, so if they break this, it's fine. They're probably going to trash the La Costa, which is fine for us. This is 5 credits for them. Diversion. Yes. So action before access. So this is why we don't do it, so that we can pop this. They're still going to get a trigger off of bankroll, so this is only like 2 to trash, right? 3 to trash. They have 3 doof in hand, not anymore. Yeah, Psy Field and Neural. That's all we need. We took out, well, we didn't actually put it in, but we had Psychic Field at some point. I think we concede. I'd rather just play another game than do this one. Like, we have 2 NGO fronts. It's going to be so long for us to take a remote. We're losing a credit a turn. Yeah, I don't think we have this. We can't punitive them because of Citadel. Do y'all mind if we concede this one? I feel like we don't have a chance. If that Jumon went through, yeah, we'd have a game. Oboe out with 3 advance, and again, it's the best thing that we have, but as soon as we do Oboe advance, they just diversion us. Like, they diversion us, it goes through. They're going to do boomerang diversion. You're right, though, we definitely do have an out, so we might as well just go for it. At least now the diversion's bad. Yeah, we'll concede. Iain, how's it going? It's fine. Yeah, we'll concede after this. We'll just do one more Hail Mary. It costs us nothing. They're just running everything, and they even ran R&D with 2 cards in hand. Are you serious? Did they run R&D with 2 cards in hand while we had snare money? Yeah, so like no surprise here. They're not even respecting this, though. Wow, they can't see the Obacata. Oh, they're boomeranging that, that's why. So we'll call event, they'll just boomerang it. We're gonna give them a tag, though. I guess they Citadel it, so it doesn't matter. But at least they have to break 2 subroutines on here, usually. And they can't see the Obacata in hand. Yeah, this is not ideal, I don't think. So they have a tag. I get next one. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Next turn we just have to click for 3, though, and then we're locked, right? Like, now they install a thing a turn, we're down at 2, and we just don't play the game anymore. And they clear the tag clicklessly, obviously, because of Citadel Sanctuary. They also have another diversion, so next turn when we click 3, they can just repeat this play. They also have more money because they have it on bankroll, which is good because they don't play against... Like, this bankroll is also such a big problem. I think I haven't been considering it with the punitive math, let alone punitive math isn't going to matter with Citadel. Like, we just click for 3, they punitive us. Like, they install, they don't even need diversion. Wait a second. Hold the phone. We have the best card. We're playing that. Oh, yes. Yes, we can't score it. There's no window, right? Is there any window? There's no window. No, there must not be. Yeah, they're media blitz, so we can copy an agenda. Beautiful. Damn it. Would 4-1 be better if Amakua and Corp Grand went I wonder? I don't know. I think Amakua could go. It could be restricted too. I think Corporate Grant going is a huge deal. Wait, why did the Corporate Grant go? Why is there no Corporate Grant? Oh, because we just played current. Oh, yeah, we're so good at this. I think Amakua is really important. I feel like the game, I don't know. I feel it's cool that there's a reason to ice up everything, but the problem right now is there's so much pressure to ice up everything that like you can't run through the remote without getting punished. It looks like we're gonna get it. We paid 2 credits for this. All right, so now they don't have to break this, and they break for 1. Yeah, Ghost Branch, false flag, mind you. I don't know. I think, yeah, 419 Amakua is just such a power combo. They have another diversion. We could always like put Slot Machine here, but we can't afford it. So they can access the single. We can't fire Snare here, but again, they would survive it. They can't steal Obokata. I don't know why they're accessing with 3 cards in hand. It seems always wrong. Swap the Thimble? I don't think so. It's probably not the worst. Nice. Wait, if we put 2 advancements next turn, we probably can't score it. Biovault though, that's good. They're not out of money. They have bankrolls. So I think we just do credit install Biovault. Man, Biovault Jumon is so good. And they just need to steal an agenda to turn this off, right? Like that's what they're doing. Do we install Biovault next turn to get them ways to run? Yeah. And it's going to be a net damage too, which is nice. They just drew their 3rd and final Bravado. They just also drew a turn final Bad Tap, which doesn't matter because we don't have economy. Joke's on them. We actually don't fire this. Like we let them trash it for 2. They actually can't afford to trash it. And no matter what, they're going to get their bankroll credits. So this is fine. So they lost the Bad Tap. So like this is, they need to trash their bankroll before accessing. I think they think it's an Obokata. So that Biovault actually did another free damage and wasted a click and a credit. But they got 2 credits from it, so not entirely. But that's actually worked out really well in our favor. Because now the next Obokata is really safe. Because they have to run through this twice. Oh, hold the phone. Has anyone ever scored 2 Jumons? Oh my lord. I'm just gonna res this bad boy. You have? No way! Since they play Grant, then you can lose your blitz. They're gonna real fuss it. Yeah, totally. If they have another Grant, we're gonna be in a really bad spot. But now they have to run this twice. We res a Biovault, and it just plays around falsified slightly. We technically didn't need to do that. I don't think they're gonna be on interdiction considering we saw everything else. They're probably not Councilman. Res the Vault? Yeah, I don't know. We don't have to. It's good against falsified. Actually, when they have that little money, but now they just... Why are they running this? Oh, just to find the truth. That makes sense. They know the top card of R&D. We have no way to like end a run or shuffle. There's only 1 more Obokata in the deck. All our SSLs. SSLs would be pretty okay right now. Just because money is tight. Oh man. Running HQ, okay, they could hit the Jumon here. This will actually, no, it won't fire, excuse me, they have Amakua counters. We'll call event for what it's worth. Do we slow roll for free score? No, I don't think we do. All right, 1 and 4 here. Oh no, they can access our whole hand. Oh, I totally forgot about that. IP block, gonna give them a tag. That doesn't matter too much when they remove it clicklessly. But they probably want to break all the subroutines, so that's 2 again with Amakua. We probably want to purge. Let's see if they use all their turning wheel tokens. Action? No. Oh, we could buy a vault. Oh, it's all good. Just gonna argue to concede in favor of a media blitz. Yeah, right? I forgot about this. Buy after turning well. Zach, how's it going? Thinking. I don't know, because then they could just draw run this. No, they couldn't. How many deuces are out? No, they can see 2 cards. Nope. Should have double Jumon. I know, Iain. You're totally right. Punitive. Nice. Envelope. Good. So, you know what? Even if you don't have an agenda in hand, thinking there and pausing, I think in some cases could be the right place, specifically if you don't, because then they think about, you know, like, should I run it or not? Yeah, double Jumon would have been sweet. Damn it, Iain. You're right. Ah, such a bummer that we didn't double Jumon. We're on game point. So Obokata doesn't do anything for us. They can't run it, right? Unless they think it's not an Obokata. Oh man, double Jumon would have been so good. Free agendas out of nowhere. But hey, we still got a free NGO front if we draw it. I think we still have 2. They knew that we are drawing this. Do we swap this? I don't think so. So Swordsman. Oh, that's really good for them to know that we drew that. It's really good, strong for them. I think we're just gonna do advance. Don't want to risk this. So we can put 2 advancements on a card installed in a remote server. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to do here besides credit, which means we're probably going to lose the Biovault. Oscar for Florence. We were thinking for what it's worth. They also couldn't steal an Obokata in hand. Like, the Obokata in hand would have been so safe there if we scored the Jumon, right? Because they've been accessing with 3 cards this whole game. We just need to draw our last Obokata somehow. We don't have DRM. Boomerang, being drawn with Find the Truth. Well, class act. Unfortunately, they definitely run everything now. They definitely have to. But their money is dried up. I guess they have bankroll and daily cast. They drew an Amina. Uh-oh. Can't really afford it unless they pop their bankroll. But if they play Amina, we're in a bad spot. Bravado HQ. 1 credit, we can't raise the slot machine. That's the bummer here. Break this for 1. I feel like we might need to take a time to purge. They can rebuild it off of the Thimble Rig for sure. But purging seems really important. I feel like we might purge next turn. If we get something in the remote that keeps going while we purge, it'd be great. Another Biovault draw would have been sick. Obviously, NGO would be sick. They should just run this. There's no reason not to run the Biovault before it gets harder to deal with. This is not good. If we get the Swordsman down, though, it's like purging. They still have a diversion in hand, so if we click up for credits, it's pretty bad. They have 1 diversion, I think. Okay, we gotta really think our way out of this one. Drawing into an NGO is a 1 in 13. That'd be really good. For what it's worth, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Second Kaku on the remote. Yeah, second Kaku on the remote's really good. They'll probably think it's a Swordsman, though. I think we want to get to hedge fund levels, but it's going to take us some turn. We don't have any cheap econ cards besides NGO. And we're a credit short of threatening here this to be a Swordsman. Oh man, back channels for 6. I think we arguably greeted the OBO. I was pretty much unstealable and would have lost the Juma value if we played 2 clicks and 2 credits. Greeted the OBO? I think we should have jammed the OBO for sure. So they just trashed the Amakua, so now the Swordsman's not good, so that's okay. So at least we didn't purge. And now they have access to all their breakers besides Sentry, which means the Cortex Lock still does a damage. The Swordsman still does a damage until they have a breaker. Back channels would be 18, yeah, it's good. But the Biovault arguably is better. Alright, so now they're going to make us lose our money. But at least this is expensive for them. We're going to call an event here. Like, this is still 4, 5, 6, 7. They can't run this. What are they doing? Why are they doing this? Are they just spending 4 that we lose 1? How are they going to get through this? They have to pop their bankroll. Okay, are they just tracing? I see why they added an API. If we had an API though, how bad would it have been for us? Like, we'd have to put in this remote or put it in our Biovault server. Like, neither of those are particularly good. All right, they could clear with Turning Wheel. All good. We need our Biovault to win. Fortunately, even I don't like the Beekeeper much, says Jessica. Sorry, I meant scoring should be sitter enough turn. Yeah, we could have kept it safe. So they store our Jumon, they killed our Media Blitz. That's obviously a bummer when we needed to score out. And they only access 3 cards. They also know we're on Punitive as well. But Punitive looks really rough. Yeah, we could have been on double Jumon at that point. And now they access with 4 cards in hand, which is good. We wouldn't have been able to Punitive there. We need double Punitive, let alone we don't even have 6 credits to double Punitive because they have a Citadel Sanctuary. Oh no, we need a triple Punitive because they have 4 cards in hand. I guess with Oba, no, we could double, but we need more money. They just drew a Dirty Laundry, which they probably Dirty Laundry. This is now a huge issue on archives, right? Because they can just run this for 2. So we probably want to destroy this. I think we destroy the Thimble Rig. They also know what we're drawing. They know that we drew DNA tracker. So we can't have that. No, it's a swordsman. Have fun. So next turn, if they don't make us lose a credit, which they probably will, we can do credit to hedge fund. But their money is drying up. Like, they're not on rogue trading. It doesn't seem like. Unless they're all in the bottom 14, which would be disastrous for us. They also still have 2 more corporate grant, which is going to be a huge issue. Yeah, we haven't seen any falsifieds either. Dirty Laundry. Really? Do we res this to do a net damage? It could hit a diversion. It doesn't stop their money. No, I think we need a hedge fund next turn. We could consider resing there. Checo, how's it going? I haven't looked at Netrunner forever. How popular are the Reddit cards nowadays? Nisei cards? Incredibly popular. As popular? Like, I don't know if the numbers of the game, a lot of people are playing online right now because they generally have to, but things are incredibly popular. We might hit Grant. I think they would play Grant if they had Grant. Oh, that's so good. Oh, Jumon is not online. Oh, I forgot we didn't score a Jumon. Oh no, NGO front's so much worse. So it's either we jam NGO front, which would more threaten them to run this server, which we don't want them to do. So I think we just need to draw into the what's it called, into the Opakata to have a chance here. They do have Grant. They drew it. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Excuse me. And a Boomerang. Oh, both of those would be pretty good. Boomerang is actually not that meaningful. Could have been watching you live for almost an hour now. Shame on me, Vincent. How's it going? Okay, now we'll res this. We hit the Boomerang. That's good. There's no AI program. They're just running this to see the top of R&D. We're still threatening to res a slot machine, of course. You're forgetting they have Find the Truth? No, I'm not forgetting. I know that's why they were running archives there on top of the Dirty Laundry. What's left in our deck? 3 SSL? 2 SSL, sorry. 1 Obokata, 1 Jumon. So only 3 agendas in 24, if I'm not mistaken. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 agendas in 24. There's a diversion. We have no way to duck that, but we can always climb out with NGO front. So that's obviously the bad thing about our play. They're going to make us lose all their money. This is not even that good for them, though. Like, they spend 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they get 5 back. So this is just making us lose money, which just buys them more time to see what they can with Find the Truth. Biowell can duck it. I think we can't duck it. I think we're fine to recover next turn with NGO front. I don't think we want to duck this one. Because, like, this is how we win, is Obokata, Biovault, double Kakugo, and hopefully, I don't know, if they steal Punitive, you're right, it doesn't matter. But I don't know. Wow, maybe we do Biovault that. We don't have Jumon anymore. The next Biovault's really expensive. Perfect. That res is slot machine, I guess. Yeah, maybe we should have Biovaulted that. I don't know. The Biovault seems super important. I totally forgot that the Jumon was immediate blitz. Imagine we scored the other way. There's a corporate grant, which can be an issue. There's a Begalter, so now they can start running things. This is double. Oh, we can't res this. Okay, so now, yeah, we should have Biovaulted last turn. At least they're going to lose something good here. And we still force them to trash this for 2, which is better than ending the run. No one home? Whoa! So they have to trash this for 2. There's no reason for us to trash it. They spend more money. They're down on 3 credits. Oh, we got to remember the pad tap. So if we do NGO front, they get more money. But at least we can jam the NGO front into the remote. No. Do we? Do we? Yeah, we do. We're weak to Falsified, that's it. And Falsified would be pretty good. So now we have Jumon, so we can put 2 counters on here. We can resin pop this. So if they run this, they only take 1 net damage. But again, we just need to grind them for every point they have. So we're really weak to Falsified. They haven't played one yet, though, which is wild. And like Falsified here is why we would snap res and not prevent the expose. They have Grant in hand, by the way. Oh, really? I haven't paid any attention. Oh no, what are we doing? They just drew a Paragon? I'm so sorry. I haven't been paying enough attention to draw at all. They just drew a Boomerang. They just drew a Turning Wheel. And they just trashed their Grant. So they're not threatening a score here. Oh, that's such a bummer. Whatever. All right, that's the last Grant. Do we draw once, click for 3? Ooh, Anansi, that's nice. They have no money. So we want to pop this the same turn we play like another hedge fund or something, just so that they don't get more money from pat taps. Issue now is if they don't steal the last Jumon, the punitives are blank. Excuse me. So the punitive play, we probably should be throwing those out, not the agendas. Can duck with BV? Oh, I think you're behind Jason. Yeah, we could have ducked that with Biovault. Maybe I just read that chat message a bit too late. But now they don't have money, we don't have money. Why wouldn't you toss punitive? Yeah, outdoor. Sorry, I just realized that the punitive is useless, unless the Jumon, but that seems pretty low chance. So we just need to top deck the SSL, and we could win. Oh, we have 3 of these in the deck. Oh wait, but then we need Kayambe. Wait, archive memories for Media Blitz. I think it's correct to keep it here. I don't know. Do we archive memories Media Blitz? I think we do. That forces them to run. And it turns off the grant, which will save us money in the long run. The best thing we could have done is fed them those. Okay. This is so important with the Gordon if we draw an agenda next turn, because they're not on Film Critic. I don't know if the punitives are good. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Unless they're on 2-pointers. Whatever, I don't see the ice being good. And now we're threatening to win, because we can do credit scored. Don't need Kayambi of this ID. Costa? Yeah, we have Costa. We do have Costa. But yeah, we don't need Costa if we have Media Blitz. Oh man, Media Blitz Jumon is the coolest thing. They need to run this. We can't pop res this, right? Then they stop anyways. I guess it stops Paragon. See, when you say ban currents, we lose awesome cards like Media Blitz. Yeah, you're totally right. Media Blitz makes these agendas so much easier to fire. Discarded punitives? I think we might have wanted to. I think they break this for free now, right? So if there's a gen on top of the deck, we just lose. I think they actually make money. Now it's free. Oh, because they break all subs, yeah. So glad you didn't get seed. Yeah, me too, Steven. I really am. Some currents were that great. I would rather just ban the problem ones. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's better. You're right. There are cool things that get thrown out. The baby with the bathwater or whatever it's called. 10 cards left. This could be the winning agenda. Oh man, we can do credit score if this is Ovocata. And they just don't have the click compression to draw this daily cast. Oh, we could have won! What? Wait, do we win? So we obviously res pop this. I think we win. So they're going to get 2. Do we install this with Saraswati? Do we install this with Saraswati? Jumon it? Yeah, I think we do. They know what this is. There's no point protecting it, right? Gordon, go. How much does it cost them to steal this agenda? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 credits, 4 net damage. We could still lose an R&D. We could easily still lose an R&D. Draw, draw, draw. They can't steal it. What are they doing? There's a Gordon. You can't steal. I don't know what's happening. I'm not going to correct them. Did they not see that? They can't steal it. Oh, Cordy, yeah. The thing is, they don't know that this is an agenda. Yeah, I don't think they realize about it. They want to undo. The thing is, they don't know this is an agenda, so they could win on R&D. But like, we expose this. This could just be like, I guess if it's an agenda, they can't steal it anyway, so that's stupid. Or just like not impactful. This also is only installed agendas? No, so it's even 4 credits to run R&D. So if they break this Begalter, they can't steal an agenda. We might lose this. Wait, they just broke this Cortex lock, which means they can't steal an agenda on R&D. That's a mistake. Well, res the slot machine. They can't break it, right? So we wouldn't lose money. Yeah, we can just do credit score next turn. I think we're safe. This is not installed cards. This is any agenda. Them breaking this was a mistake. I know they'd get 1 back. It's resource program. Fire Unbroken. Wait, it's not if able. Oh, because they gain 2. Oh, man. Okay, that did nothing. They can't steal. Yeah, pat taps, you're right. I goofed the pat taps off. In theory, the best case scenario is them lose 3, us not gain 3. And the accessing the turning wheel, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You lose the slot machine to the top deck? I don't think so. They need 4 to steal. Yes! Oh my god! It was a Jumon on top! Oh man, that was nutty! I just changed the DPI of my mouse. It's really hard to move. Oh, triple avocado! Oh, was looking for that Corden the whole game. Totally forgot we had it. Oh, Media Blitz Jumon! That's so good. That Archive Memories also was really clutch. How did I change the DPI on this bad boy? That's not doing it, is it? I don't know. Oh! That was great. Thanks for the game. Oh, I know. It's this button, right? No. Yeah, that feels better. Oh, man. Always Hail Mary over concede. Yeah, we had a pretty easy Hail Mary there, and I'm glad we took it. Like, just install Advance. Advance was fine. We also, like, did not play it perfectly. There was a bunch of windows where we could have scored Jumons, and scoring the Jumons made the Media Blitz play harder. Obviously, this deck isn't great, but you see the strength inherently of Jumon plus Corden, and we have 3 Cordons left, or 2 Cordons left. We didn't draw enough Lacostas. We didn't draw our Bio Vaults. But the bottom of our deck is a lot of our stronger cards. We drew all our mid-range ice and not our win conditions, which is a bummer. Never capitulate. Oh man, that was crazy. Yeah, that really was, wasn't it? Tournament ready. It's 3 o'clock. That's largely all it's going to be today. Just give me 1 second, because I think Code Marvelous is streaming right now and is raising money for justice-based charities. So we're going to definitely do a host on that. I just don't know the command. I think it's host Code Marvelous. Yeah, we'll throw the host over. That's all for us. We're having a GNK on Tuesday. The link, I posted it a lot of times, the other ones. You have 3 win scoring conditions. They all died to Film Critic. That's not technically true. Lacosta... No, Biovault, it doesn't. But you're right, a lot of the other ones. So that's largely it. We have a GNK on Tuesday if you want to drop by. I posted the link at the end of the video on Thursday if you want to drive in. It's jump in 6:45 Eastern. We're playing with no currents. Come drop by if you can. That's largely it. Pat and I will probably be doing something really cool on this upcoming Sunday. So if you have time in the afternoon, do you want to drop by? Obviously there'll be a VOD too if you can't make it. But we're gonna throw over and host to Code Marvelous. So say hi on behalf, at least on Twitch side. We can host because we can do that. No SSL appearances. Yeah, SSL would have been good at some point, but we also could have lost earlier. That's largely it. We'll be back in a couple days. I'll be filming the games on Tuesday, and then we'll be streaming back on Thursday, and we'll catch you around. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, or if you started your week, hopefully it's good too, and take care, y'all. Let's get that host in there. How's that work?